You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back.
In this world, I am Shady. Shady is back. Guess who's back? It is me. It is OSU, and we got a big broadcast tonight. Welcome, everybody, to the NBL Live pregame show, brought to you each and every week by our graphics sponsor, web3ks.com. They do a ton of graphics for the entire NBL network. You know about it. We talk about them every week, and that's because we are so passionate about their product. And they're doing a great deal. Al Benson over there hooking everybody up. If you need graphics done for an affordable price, hit up web3ks.com. Let them know NBL sent you. You will get 15% off your entire order. Web3ks.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Playoff action here on the NBL Network. We've got double-header AFC Divisional round matchup starting off with the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. A battle between two AFC North teams who know each other very well, followed up by the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Cleveland Browns. Should be a great night of NBL football. I'm OSU. I am hanging out with my man, the commish Bomber. Bomber, it has been a while. I actually looked on my XSplit. It's been since week 11 since I've been on NBL Live. I'm not really sure if I remember how to do it.
All right, well, I mean, it's like riding a bike. I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out here just in just a second. We've been covering down with some bonus coverage here and there as you made your travels around the world. Not as frequent as Z-Star, but you had to take care of some business, and now we're back. We got our network director back, and I'm excited to be here. I mean, what is this, broadcast number 218 for NBL Live?
Yeah, I like, unlike Z-Star, I like traveling to places that have extradition treaties with the U.S., mostly inside the U.S. I don't want to catch any of that West Nile or whatever. He flies down to Brazil and stuff. I'm too afraid of becoming a drug mule. Anywho, we got a great matchups tonight. Doubleheader action with the Ravens and Steelers starting off first. Let's take a look at those players to watch for this first AFC Divisional round matchup. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, talked about him a lot. We've seen him have some great performances here on NBL Live. It is Javier Howard, and no surprise this year he's having an unbelievable season. 92 receptions, over 1,600 yards, and 16 touchdowns. And Bomber, this is the scary part about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Javier Howard is fantastic with 16 touchdowns, but Matt Stafford spreads that ball around. Their wide receiver core is about as evenly distributed touchdowns-wise as you can get. Is there any way to stop this passing attack, or is it just a matter of hang on for dear life and try to keep up?
Yeah, here's the issue. You're going to see a lot of passes. They like to go short. They like to give their big time speed receivers an opportunity to run after the catch, and you're going to see it here. I mean, the difference between Javier Howard and Drake Christian, their rookie, and Chauncey Arnold is about 20 receptions to Javier Howard. But the difference in yards from Drake Christian to Javier Howard is only about less than 200 yards. So 20 catches, less than 200 yards. That's less than 10 a catch. Javier Howard is the guy. They like to, if they can get him the ball and get him enough touches, they figure something special is going to happen, and that's why he's leading this team in touchdowns. But he's definitely been there the longest. He's the guy they have the most faith in. Matt Stafford likes him. He's a favorite target. But Drake Christian could be that X factor that kind of takes that place, because we saw towards the end of the season, Drake Christian started coming on as a rookie. And you know, rookie wide receivers seem to have big runs in the playoffs, and we could see that this season, NBL season 31.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers, just an unbelievable offensive weapon. It's a big shout out to JY Movie Guy for the 4 months of subscribing. On the flip side, for the Baltimore Ravens, we've got Oscar Adkins, who numbers in terms of receptions different. 92 for Javier Howard, only 27 for Oscar Adkins, but he has done a ton with that. 1,000 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns. Bomber, this Ravens team, I think many would consider one of the pleasant surprises in the NBL, a team that has been sort of on that cusp of getting into the playoffs. They're here in the divisional round against a Steelers team they know very well. This is a much more balanced attack than you'd see from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They run the ball, they pass the ball, and Oscar Adkins, he's going to be a matchup problem for that Pittsburgh secondary.
Absolutely. 9 touchdowns on the season, 64 catches, over 1,000 yards. But what I really want to talk about, Oscar Adkins on offense, yeah, that's great. Andrew Luck, Tyrod Taylor, whoever he has throwing to him, that's definitely a receiver that you have to look at, as well as Fairley on the outside and Whitmer in the slot. Now, what I want to talk about, though, is the Ravens' defense. It's only giving up 17 points per game. Well, the Steelers' offense is hitting 34 points per game, so something's got to give tonight. You got the number one defense versus the number one offense, and everyone says defense wins championships, but there's no way to stop a better offense. I'm going offense tonight. Atkins, I think he needs to have a big game. I mean, he needs to have a $150, 2 to 3 touchdowns, and their 26 points per game isn't going to get it done against the Steelers. You're going to have to score 40 to beat these Steelers in the playoffs. But, man, I was just really interested in that defensive stat. I felt like I had to bring it up in the pregame. They're only giving up 17 points per game. They're number one against the rush. Can they withhold the 34 points per game from the Pittsburgh Steelers? We'll find out tonight.
Before we get to your prediction, Bomber, here's a question. I ask it a lot when we see these sort of matchups. Okay, these are two teams playing the same division. They faced off twice this year. Third time around, how is this different from the two regular season matchups, apart from the fact that it's in the playoffs, the intensity is going to be cranked up to 100?
Oh, man, I don't know how much different it's going to be, because when you have a division matchup that you're playing each other 2 times a season, and we're already into season 6. What is it? Season 6, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 6 times. They've already played each other 12 times in the regular season. Now they're playing themselves a 13th time, this time in the playoffs. I feel like every game is a playoff-type battle. I don't think much changes, and I think this is a nice warm-up game for the Pittsburgh Steelers to kind of come around here, throw the ball for 450 yards, run the ball for, okay, they got Amir Abdullah, maybe 50 to 60 yards. But They're going to pass for 450. They're going to throw it all over them, and they're going to show that this number one defense on paper is just that. It's just on paper. I think it changes nothing. And I'm going with the Steelers tonight in a blowout. I know you wanted to hold my prediction,
go for it.
I'm going to give it
nuts.
now. Yeah, I'm going to go 42-17 Pittsburgh over Baltimore.
Yeah, we've got a lot of predictions coming in the chat. A lot of people picking that Pittsburgh Steelers team to win this game. There's only one way to find out, folks. Playoff action continuing here on the MBL Network, and we've got a doozy for you tonight. Doubleheader action. We appreciate you tuning in to the MBL Live pregame show, but it is game time here on MBL Live. Coming up next, it's a battle between two AFC North teams who know each other oh so well. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's coming up right now here on MBL Live. Empty backfield for Atkins. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got to open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again
into the end zone. Another touchdown. And we are live with playoff action here on the MBL Network. Doubleheader divisional matchups over in the AFC. First off, we've got the 11-5 Baltimore Ravens taking on the 15-1 champions of the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Bomber. Bomber, two great matchups here on the MBL Network. What a time to be a follower, a subscriber of the network, because we got broadcasts coming up, doubleheader conference championship Friday night, Super Bowl Saturday night, and then we end up heading into our last season here in Madden 19, August to August, or Madden 18, heading into Madden 19, Bomber. It is crazy. It seems like just yesterday we were doing team selection.
Yeah, we just laid out the schedule for the 2 months in advance. You can find that on Twitter at Bomber League. Some great information being put out there, and absolutely, time just flies when you're having fun. I guess that's what they say, and we're already into broadcast number 218. I feel like when you took over, we were in broadcast, what, 30-something?
37.
37, and that just seems not too long ago, but absolutely, it's been quite a while. We're about to be 200 episodes past when you started very shortly. Broadcast number 219 is going to be on Friday. We got a doubleheader for the NFC Championship, AFC Championship, hosted on the EA Madden NFL's Twitch channel. Very, very excited time to be a part of the NBL.
Baltimore Ravens, they're going to fumble it on the first play from scrimmage, and it's picked up by Stephen Tuitt. Oh boy, we didn't even get a chance to talk about these Ravens and starting out with the ball on offense before they cough up the pigskin bomber, the worst thing you can do against this Steelers team.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I was going to tell Baltimore coming into this game, if you just score 7 every possession you have and you get lucky and maybe get a fumble at some point during the game, you can win this game. Starting the game off on the first carry with a fumble doesn't necessarily go to my evil genius plan there, but at the 33-yard line, it does get absolutely worse. They fumbled, and now Pittsburgh is even in field goal range, which I doubt they'll need. And let's see what they can do here.
Yeah, they find the end zone so quickly as Matt Stafford dropping back on 1st and 10, waiting, looks over the middle for Drake Christian, and a diving play defensively. Nice job getting a hand in there in man coverage. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Bomber, I guess silver lining, Matt Stafford can't throw a 70-yard touchdown on this drive.
Yeah, and you notice he maneuvers his man, audibles him to a slant route. C.J. Mosley's man covered on, who was that, Drake Christian?
Yep.
Speedster stays with him and makes a play on the ball. Nice defense there from the #1 rated defense, Baltimore Ravens.
And now Stafford dropping back on 2nd and 10, and he's going to go down. Well, again, you never want to ring the bell too early, Bomber, but on the first 2 defensive plays for this Ravens defense who had to come out because of that fumble, we've seen a nice play in man coverage, and that was sack on Matt Stafford. But in 3rd and 15, Bomber, for the Steelers, this is about a 3rd and 2. Yeah,
nice cover 3 cloud, though. They had the hard flat on the right side. They were looking for the slot drag. It wasn't there. Stafford waited. He's been sacked nearly 70 times this season. I think actually over 70 times. Not surprising, but let's see if they can pick up this 3rd and 15.
Empty backfield. Stafford dropping back on 3rd and 15. Waiting, and he's going to take off. He's trying to get somewhere. He takes a big hit at the 31-yard line and goes down.
That's dangerous.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to kick a field goal, and you'd feel great if you're the Baltimore Ravens if this wasn't an extra possession because of fumbling on the first carry. Ball is down, kick is up, and it is good. Pittsburgh goes up early 3-0, but the Baltimore defense, we talked about how good they were in the pregame, Bomber, and they have come to play here on the road.
Yeah, they've hit Stafford twice, 1 for a sack and 1 and an 8-yard jog for the elder Matt Stafford, the current MVP of NBL Season 31, back-to-back MVPs. And he takes a big hit, and it just seems like he's got hit a lot this year. But one thing's for certain, he keeps getting up.
Yeah, they don't need any sort of injuries to their star quarterback. What an unbelievable season Stafford has had for the Pittsburgh Steelers, coming over from Detroit and just picking up where he left off, leading the Steelers to a 15-1 regular season record. On 1st and 10, play action pass, rolling out is Andrew Luck. He'll look to the flat. It is complete to the fullback. He'll take another big hit, but he'll get up to the 34-yard line. Bomber, do you see the Baltimore Ravens shying away from the run game at all after that early fumble?
They absolutely can. I know they got Alvin Kamara. He's been known to have some fumbling issues this Madden cycle. Not that great of a halfback. If you look at him, yards per carry, he's at 5.1. You should probably say, that's pretty good, though, Bomber. What are you talking about? But only 7 touchdowns on 152 carries. You got to see more from that from Alvin Kamara. Just not been that impactful. But hopefully he has a big game tonight and leads this Ravens team to a victory.
2nd and 5, handoff to Alvin Kamara, who's able to get up to the 37-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Days of the week saying, nice, I've been waiting for y'all to stream again. Best casters in town. Appreciate the love, Days of the week. And you're going to have a lot more opportunities to see the NBL Network, as we announced on Twitter. Bonus coverage being moved to its own show, so you're going to see some more broadcasts of Madden action here on the NBL Network on days we're not doing NBL Live. Is on 3rd and 1. Luck's dropping back to pass. Luck didn't have anyone open. Luck goes down. It is Bud Dupree with the sack, and an opportunity there to pick up a short 1st down. Maybe Baltimore outthinking themselves, losing 9 on the play.
Yeah, here's the issue. He was looking at the drag immediately, but the man double buzz comes down and shows on the drag, but then he let him go. The drag was wide open from right to left, but Andrew Luck already came off the read, and what happens? He ends up taking a sack. So now 2 early opportunities for the Pittsburgh Steelers to have possessions, which you want to limit their offensive possessions because they're so deadly. Just doing the complete opposite of my game plan here. It was score every time you get it, and then just hope for a fumble. So not off to a great start.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Matt Stafford. Under center, Amir Abdullah in the backfield as he drops back to pass. On 1st and 10, quick throw to Chauncey Arnold. It is complete down to the 35-yard line. So as we announced, bonus coverage, you're going to be seeing more NBL action. Also, NBL Game Night debuted a couple weeks ago. We're going to continue doing that one, seeing some NBL players playing some games other than our standard connected franchise games. You'll see last time we did Fortnite, you'll see a little bit of everything. So again, if you love what we're doing here, make sure you hit that follow button so you know when we go live, because we're going to have a lot more broadcasts going forward. 1st and 10, handoff to Amir Abdullah. He's got some room up to past the 40-yard line. Don't know why he juked there, but he's going to get 11 yards on the play. Wasn't a pretty run, Bomber. He juked when nobody was there, and then he ran into the only guy who was out there, but he still picks up a first down.
That tells you that there was only 11 yards to minimally gain on that run, and that's what he gained. I felt like he should have gained a lot more, but Amir Abdullah doing what Amir Abdullah does, not accelerating when he's supposed to, not really finding distance between the blockers, and he kind of just jukes into his own man. But it seemed like that could have been a big play. It seemed like that could have been 15 to 20 yards.
Ghost juke doesn't work quite as well as the ghost truck. 1st and 10. Shotgun formation for Matt Stafford. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end out there. For Stafford in the shotgun, he's got Abdullah to his left. He'll drop back to pass on 1st down. Waiting, looks underneath it. It's complete to Javier Howard. He's got some room. Uh-oh, he's in the open field. He's up to the 30. He's up to the 20. Javier Howard with the burners. Javier Howard with the touchdown. It's a simple drag route that turns into 6 as Javier Howard makes a man miss, and he is off to the races as Pittsburgh goes up early. Now 10-0, and Bomber, the warning lights have to be going off on the Baltimore sideline.
Yeah, see what you see right there, just an easy pitch and catch, a drag underneath. You got 3 routes combing the right side of the field, pushing the defenders down the field, and Javier Howard says, instead of following these routes, I'm going to kick it back the way that I came because I didn't see nobody over there. And he was absolutely right as he takes it to the house. Just a simple throw underneath. We've seen a post route underneath and then a batted down ball from C.J. Mosley. Matt Stafford just showing that he can get rid of the ball quick, and that might be his most deadliest weapon here is the fact that he gets rid of it quick and allows his receivers to get majority of the yards on the ground.
Bomber, our very own Mod Porter in the chat asking Mr. Colby if he's in grid. You want to answer that one for Porter?
Colby?
Yeah.
I think Colby's just a fan of the NBL.
I think he just likes watching.
Yeah, he's a big time guy. Watches Uber's channel, a big time supporter of smaller streams like ours, man. So Porter, document his participation if you like. Yeah, but he's just a fan here.
It's not necessary, but you can. 2nd and 8 now for Andrew Luck and the Baltimore Ravens needing a score bad as Kamara's going to go in motion out of the backfield. He'll drop back to pass in that empty backfield set. Waiting, looks underneath. Diving catch on the right side. It is complete down to the 37-yard line. It's a first down for the Baltimore Ravens as Oscar Adkins gets his first catch of the game.
You know, I can't lie right there. So I'm watching this play develop as Andrew Luck, and I'm looking at the reads in which how I would look at the reads. And when he went to release that ball, I thought the inside guy, the more underneath guy, was where he was going. He sailed it to the next level guy. So nice throw there by Andrew Luck. Completely caught me off guard.
Handoff right up the middle. He's got some room. He's going to have a first down up to the 48-yard line. Alvin Kamara finding some room, finding some space. That offensive line doing a nice job up front. Kamara's just got to hold on to the football.
Yeah, he's had some space this entire game. He picked up quite a few yards on the fumble initially to start this game. I think he picked up 5 or 6, so the yards have been there. The ability to run has been there. It's just holding on to the ball and not having those butterfingers and losing the ball and turning the ball over for the halfback for the Baltimore Ravens.
1st and 10, handoff to Kamara. Once again, he'll get up past midfield. Not quite as successful on that one, but he'll still pick up 3 on first down. Going to bring up a 2nd and 7. You're seeing here, Bomber, a very conservative drive from Baltimore, utilizing that run game and not passing into that very talented Pittsburgh secondary.
Yeah, speaking of passing, let's talk a little bit about Andrew Luck. 11 touchdowns, 16 interceptions on the season. Had a pretty pitiful QBRs, lowest since joining the Ravens 3 seasons ago, 81.9. So not great for Andrew Luck.
Luck looking to pass, looks over the middle of the field. Jawara Forney almost jumped that one. He waited just a little too long for that post route, and he's lucky that it wasn't picked off by Forney. Bomber, we have seen Jawara Forney make some unbelievable plays. One of the best safeties in the NBL. Arguably
the best safety in the NBL. If it wasn't for Malik Hooker and arguably that other guy that we talk about, but I'm a big Malik Hooker fan, so I'm going to stay with Malik Hooker. I'm not even going to bring up the other guy's name. We talked about this
Carl
on Commissioner Corner.
Carl Joseph of the Oakland Raiders. That's who you're talking about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the one.
I'd bring his name up. I like Raiders. Yeah.
3rd and 7. Quick throw. Another diving catch on the outside, picking up a first down. It was Oscar Adkins the first time. It is fairly the second time for 13 yards. Luck's getting a little gun shy with that arm. He's got that strong arm, Bomber, but at times it's like he's just blind firing out there.
Yeah, it seems a little hot and loose right now. It's coming out with some heat. It's just the direction in which it's going, and its accuracy is a little in question right now early in this game.
First and 10, shotgun formation for Luck as the Ravens have driven down to the 37-yard line. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Andrew Luck takes the snap. He's going to hand it off on first down. Some room. A good block. I don't really know if he knows where he's going. His Holt gets 12 yards, Bomber, but he bounced off of 4 of his own blockers there. Young fellow, find the open space. Don't go where somebody's standing.
Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to be able to use your peripheral vision, young fella, and see left, right. Where's everybody going? Where's the motion coming from? He had an opportunity. All he had to do was make that one cut. He just didn't make it. Maybe he went to the school of Trent Richardson.
Oh, no.
Halfback school.
It's not a good
like
school.
And we're bringing his name up way too much on NBA.
It's like Arizona State. They'll let anyone in. As first and 10, Andrew Luck. Quick out route to the outside. It is complete. It's a first out up to the 6-yard line. Great recognition of Luck. Seeing the soft coverage, and he fires a dot to Oscar Adkins, who gets him inside of the 10-yard line down to the 6.
And Oscar Atkins sure does look smooth out there. He's got the nice visor on, got the nice gear on. You know, you look good, you feel good. That's what it seems like for the Baltimore Ravens, as they're going on a nice, sustainable drive right here, trying to close this 10-point lead.
Yeah, first quarter coming down to a close. Andrew Luck under center with 3 wide receivers. He can drop back to pass. Quick 3-step drop. Waiting. Nobody's open. Shakes off a 1 tackler. He'll take another down to the 8-yard line as George with the sack on that play. That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. 10-0. Pittsburgh on top. Bomber, I got to say, boy, I hate that play call. Because you've got to think, 6-yard line, the defense expecting something like double slants. It is just a predictable play call, and Pittsburgh was ready for it.
Yeah, maybe something like a halfback screen of that sort that you wouldn't expect, or maybe just running the ball on first and goal there from the 6. The Ravens have done a great job running the ball. It seems that has been their strength today in this game. But the safeties, Jawar Forney doesn't have to worry about over the top.
Oh, he's got some room on the right side. Oh, what a cut! Touchdown, Ravens! As Alvin Kamara, the blocking up front for the Ravens has been phenomenal. And let's not get cute here. Hand it off to Alvin Kamara, as it is now a 10-7 ball game, the ground game, getting it done for the Ravens.
When you play the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to think to yourself, I can't settle for 3. I have to get into the end zone. A miscue on first and goal there kind of puts you in a position where you got 2 plays to score. Baltimore goes back to their old trusty ground and pound game. They get in the end zone and cut a 10-point deficit to 3.
And the Baltimore Ravens defense now going to try to get a stop, giving up a touchdown on their last drive. Little drag route to Javier Howard, turned into 6. He gets into the open field. As many of these wide receivers, it is bad news Bears. As Matt Stafford comes out, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Howard split out to the right. Howard to the left, Arnold to the right. Abdullah in the backfield, drops back to pass. On first down, waiting, looks underneath. It is complete to Chauncey Arnold, but nice contain underneath. Not letting that speedy Chauncey Arnold get to the edge, bringing him down for only a 5-yard gain.
That's where a fumble needs to come from. If I'm Baltimore right now, I need to tell my corners, when you see that ball go underneath, you need to come with that low cut hit and try to hope the ball pops out. You need to create turnovers on defense against Pittsburgh, because if not, they're just going to pick you apart and put points on the board.
Amir Abdullah getting the carry, and a great job by the Baltimore defense, able to force some penetration, and C.J. Mosley with the tackle. 2-yard loss on the play. Nice job containing the run game from Pittsburgh. Now they're going to have to try to contain this 3rd down attack.
3rd and 7 is tough for most teams. I consider it a 3rd and long, but this is easily a 3rd and manageable for Pittsburgh. We even saw them pick up a 3rd and 18 on NBL Live not too long ago on a screenplay. So this team can pull out all the tricks that needed. Let's see what they do here against this Baltimore Ravens defense, number 1 in the league.
Empty backfield. Stafford dropping back. 4-man rush from the Ravens. Waiting, looking to the corner out for Drake Christian. Did he get the feet and bounce? He did not. That 1 foot just sort of slid out of bounds. And the Baltimore defense coming up with another stop. This one for no points. Bomber, is this Ravens team, this Ravens defense, maybe the most underrated unit in the NBL?
That's all on Matt Stafford. I can't give the Ravens too much. They flooded the Ravens on the right side. Matt Stafford just has to make the right throw and the right read. Early fumble early on. They had to settle for 3. They go on a drive where they just throw a 3-yard pass underneath, and the receiver takes it to the house. Matt Stafford has to be better in that intermediate to deep range. That's been his struggle throughout his career, being consistent. He's got away with it this year because he has so many speedsters. He can go underneath. But when he has to make the throw on that 3rd and 7, he's got to be able to complete that pass.
Handoff on the jet sweep. Oh, he's got the edge. He's going up towards the first down marker. He's going to be taken down at the 29-yard line. That was fairly with the carry. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2. Bomber, almost a real big play. Pittsburgh very familiar with that particular running play.
Usually a run play we see more inside the 5. Or maybe to pick up in inches or a yard or 2. You don't really see it on your side of the field early in downs, especially. kind of a nice trick play there for the Baltimore Ravens.
And now 2nd and 2, I formation. Kamara at the top of that I, and on 2nd down, it's going to be a play-action pass. Andrew Luck rolling out, looks to the flat. It is complete. Got the 1st down and more as he just shook off Ryan Shazier. It's going to be a 1st down up to the 41-yard line. Give him 13 on the play as a real nice play there from Andrew Luck, Bomber. That was impressive as Oscar Adkins' 3rd catch on the day. Luck not trying to do too much there. Finds the man underneath and picks up the 1st down.
My only concern with that pass is it should have came about a half-second sooner. It was open. Let him catch the ball and have that field space. By hesitating and not giving it to him exactly when he's ready and in stride, you kind of take away some field for him, but it worked out there. Nice throw by Andrew Luck.
And Luck finds him underneath again up to the 49-yard line. That was Fairley with the catch on that play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2. Bomber, Again, watching this game, I like this offensive game plan from the Ravens. A lot of the quick passes, not letting that talented defensive line get to you. It's going to open up the run game for Alvin Kamara, who's already had a nice day. He's got a carry here. He's got the 1st down and more up past the 44-yard line. They're doing a real nice job of keeping this defense on their heels.
Absolutely. Alvin Kamara has been a staple running attack for this Baltimore Ravens in this game. In the season, you say 5.1 yards per carry. That's great, but you don't see the touchdowns. He already got a touchdown to get today. So we're seeing playoff form Alvin Kamara. Let's see if he can keep it up. 1st and 10 as they approach into Pittsburgh Steelers territory.
Yeah, they're on the 44-yard line. 1st down. Play action pass for Andrew Luck. Waiting, looking. Nobody's open. He's got to get rid of the ball. He's going to take off and runs right into Ryan Shazier. He's going to pick up a yard on the play. Andrew Luck apparently not scared to take a hit from one of the best linebackers in the game. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Ryan Shazier was just standing there. He had nobody to guard. I think he was actually on the halfback. Halfback stayed into block, so Ryan Shazier says, I'm just going to stay here and spy the quarterback. And once you start spying Andrew Luck, it almost seems like he didn't see him. It turned to camouflage. And he ran and said, oh, Ryan Shazier's there. I got to get down.
3 wide receivers for Andrew Luck in the shotgun. It's on 2nd and 9. It's going to be a handoff to Kamara right up the middle. Kamara a little too cut happy there. He's going to get up to the 41-yard line. Bomber, this Pittsburgh defensive line is no slouch. A lot of great players on that line. T.J. Watt, Churfy Gooch, George on that line. The Baltimore offensive line, though, is really dominating the battle up front.
Talk about a lot of great pass rushing defensive ends, outside linebackers. That's what you get with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Against the run, not so great, as we're seeing right now. If Alvin Kamara would stay on a straight line rather than wiggling left and right, he might have been able to pick up 5 to 6 more yards on that last carry.
3rd and 6, man going in motion on 3rd down. Looks like they're going to try to throw the screen. Oh, it's almost jumped by Artie Burns. Oh, almost disaster on the play as a great recognition by Artie Burns. Baltimore is going to attempt a long field goal, 58 yards from the left hash
Here we
mark.
go.
See if they can tie this ball game up. Ball is down. The kick is up. Does it have the leg? It does, and we have a tie ball game. Bomber.
Justin Tucker? Wow.
After the first 2 drives where we saw Baltimore turn the ball over once, go 3 and out on their 2nd drive, Pittsburgh went up 10-0. There were people already calling blouses in the chat, but we've got a tie ball game thanks to the Baltimore defense and this running game that has really propelled the offense.
The #1 defense in the NBL is the Baltimore Ravens. They're only giving up 17 points per game. Obviously on pace to give up a little more today against the team that averages 34, but that's okay. It's 10-10. They're in the game. The only thing I fear if I'm a Ravens fan right now is a Matt Stafford 2.5-minute drive that ends up in the score. Then they get the ball back to start the 2nd half.
Stafford driving back on 1st and 10. Throws it. Oh, no, a bad overthrow. It's picked off by the Ravens, and life in Baltimore that looked like it was gone. Well, it has just been put back into the eyes of the Baltimore Ravens as they score 10 unanswered and get gifted an interception from Matt Stafford. A little bit of a overthrow there, Bomber, if you could maybe understate that a little bit.
I can understand it. Definitely been in that situation. Playoff Matt Stafford gets a little loose with the ball. Definitely don't like that throw. He probably wishes he could have that one back, and he hasn't been good intermediate to deep so far. Everything underneath has been fine when the receivers allow the separation, but Matt Stafford seems to really be struggling throwing the ball down the field.
Counter play for Alvin Kamara. He's got some room. Oh, go outside. No. He stays inside, picks up the 1st down. So frustrating. You know his speed. He would have gotten around the edge, and he'd be dancing in the end zone right now.
No, if I'm the wide receiver right there, I'm telling Alvin, what do you want from me here? You want me to, I'm shading, I'm blocking him and containing an edge for you so you can just whip around me, sideline to the house. But Alvin Kamara says, hey, man, I went to the Trent Richardson School of Running, and we're going to stay the course here and run right into the defender. 2-minute warning here. NBL Live broadcast number 218. This is looking to be a really good game.
2 tight ends for Andrew Luck. I formation. Kamara at the top of that I. And on 1st and 10, it's a play action pass. Luck rolling, waiting, looks to the tight end. Not sure if somebody got a hand on that one or not, but I think that one looked right into the hands of Max Williams, and he just didn't look that one into the old breadbasket.
Andrew Luck relying on the tight end early in this game. 10-10, they're still in the game. When those play actions happen and I see a cover one, if I got receivers like Fairley and Oscar Atkins, I expect my receivers to beat the cornerback, and you're just not seeing it in man coverage. The Steelers have looked really solid on defense in that aspect.
Holt into the game at halfback as Luck takes the snap, waiting on 2nd and 10, looks underneath. It is complete to Fairley underneath, who gets lit up as he catches that ball, but is still able to hold on to it for a 5-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5, Bomber, and a big opportunity here for Baltimore to convert a 3rd down and keep this drive rolling.
Absolutely, 3rd and 5. You can run it, you can pass it, you can screen it. Just don't run that orbit bubble screen or whatever you ran last time that Artie Burns almost took to the house. Be smart here. No interceptions. Make sure you come away with points. Do not turn the ball over if they're in an empty backfield.
And he is looking over to the corner route and almost threw it right to Sims. Sims didn't look that one into the breadbasket, as it's going to bring up a 4th and 5. Baltimore, I think, fortunate to be kicking a field goal here. And you look back at that drive, Bomber, came off of the interception. The kick is up, and they're going to miss a field goal. They're not even going to get points on this drive. So a drive that was already going to be disappointing after Alvin Kamara had a clear touchdown and just went to the Ray Charles School of Hole Recognition and got taken down after a long gain. They end up throwing some bad passes and getting no points on the drive, and now Pittsburgh gets back with 1:28 to go, Bomber. This is bad news because this is where Pittsburgh can get going as Chauncey Arnold takes the screen, spin move back inside, pass midfield. They're already to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it's just a lot of underneath stuff. 4 catches, 99 yards, and out of those 4 receptions, they've been underneath. Screens, drags, it just hasn't been much down the field. If you can get some hard flats going for Baltimore right now and force Matt Stafford to try to beat you down the field, that'll probably be your best bet, as we've seen him be off just a little bit today in this game. And if there was any game Pittsburgh was going to start a little slow in the playoffs, this is probably the game they'd like it to be.
Under a minute to go. Matt Stafford dropping back on 1st and 10. Waiting, looks underneath, completes it to Amir Abdullah, trying to get up near the 1st down marker, and he will. And once again, folks, we want to thank everybody for tuning into MBO Live, broadcast number 218. I'm OSU, hanging out with my man, the commish Bomber. We are got playoff action tonight. Double header. This is the AFC Divisional round. Pittsburgh and Baltimore tied at 10. 52 seconds to go here in the first half. Matt Stafford play action pass. Looking to throw it. Looks deep down the middle. Has Drake Christian. Drake Christian gets lit up at the 2-yard line and can't hang on to the ball. Oh, big play there by the safety coming over and laying the hit on Drake Christian.
Yeah, it makes up for the bad safety coverage. I mean, that's a cover 3. You roll into the middle of the field. He rolls late. The post beats him over the top, but luckily he gets there to make a play on the ball. That should have been a walk-in touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know Matt Stafford has been waiting for that. He's been setting them up, going underneath to take that shot over the top. There was his opportunity. Receiver just couldn't hang on to the ball.
Shotgun formation for Stafford. 47 seconds to go. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. It's going to be handoff to Amir Abdullah. And look at the Baltimore defense getting in the backfield and bringing him down for a loss on the play as Bowser gets the carry and gets a whole lot of nothing, losing 3. Going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Hey, you got to get more there on the run. 3rd and 13 on the 33. Let's see if the Pittsburgh Steelers decide to play this conservative or they drive the ball down the field. They're coming empty backfield. They're going to drive the ball down the field here.
5 wide receivers. Stafford dropping back. 3-man rush from the Baltimore Ravens. Waiting, looking. Down goes Stafford at the 39-yard line as Graham came around the edge and brings down Stafford. Another sack for this Baltimore defense. Pittsburgh lining up for the long field goal as Baltimore's going to take a timeout. Wow, what a play there. Once again, the Baltimore defense standing strong inside the 50-yard line.
It's good defense when you can send a 3-man rush and get there like that. So nice job there by the Baltimore Ravens defense.
Kick is up. Kick is good. 13-10 your score, Bomber, and what could have been Baltimore missing out on an opportunity, getting no points off a Pittsburgh turnover in their own territory. Looks like they're going to go into halftime down 3 at this point as they'll kneel it down with 10 seconds to go. But Baltimore's got to feel real good, especially how their defense is playing.
Absolutely. And they look at the stats and they said, this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to get to Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford has gotten sacked 62 times on the season. His most ever in this Madden cycle by about 13 more than his highest, and his highest before was 8 more than that. So you have to imagine Stafford's getting sacked at a rate that's probably 50% higher than he's used to being sacked, and the Ravens are taking advantage of it. They realize that there's some kind of issue here on the offensive line that isn't keeping Matthew Stafford upright, and they're deciding to send the heat. And even on three-man rushes, they're doing a great job stunning on the defensive line and getting to the quarterback. It's truly been phenomenal to hold this team to just 13 points.
This is where it can get dangerous, though, folks, as Pittsburgh goes in with a 3-point lead, and they're going to get the ball to start the second half. So Baltimore's defense, who's been up to the task so far, we'll see if they can continue to hold Matt Stafford and this very potent Pittsburgh Steelers offense off the board, or maybe just to 13-10 your score here. And don't forget, folks, doubleheader action. Playoffs continue tonight. We've got another AFC Divisional round matchup coming up after this one. It is the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Cleveland Browns. Should be a great game coming up immediately following this one as Amir Abdullah takes the carry around the outside. And he's going to get up near the 30-yard line. First real nice game there for Amir Abdullah, and that may be a key for Pittsburgh, Bomber. They haven't had a lot of success between the tackles. Getting Abdullah outside may be how they get this rushing attack going.
A little off-tackle run. Abdullah bounces it outside to get 5. You like to see him make a man miss, though. If he can make one man miss, that turns into 10 to 20 yards. Abdullah struggled holding on to the ball during the season. Let's see if he can clean that up here if they go to him late.
Drake Christian with the catch and that low tackle, Bomber. You saw it right there. The low tackle coming up with a big play on Drake Christian, holding him to only a 2-yard game, Bomber. We haven't really seen the Pittsburgh Steelers push the ball really at all downfield.
That's been their offense mostly this season. You've seen it with Matt Stafford. I mean, if you do the math, yards per catch, and you take away what's been happening in the air, you see a lot of yard after catch opportunity. Yards per catch minus the yards in the air is a lot of on-the-ground running from these wide receivers, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Because Stafford can find either of those three guys. We're talking Arnold, we're talking Javier Howard, and we're talking Drake Christian, the rookie. That's what makes this team so nasty.
3rd and 3, Stafford dropping back, waiting, looking. Stafford gets hit as he throws, and Baltimore's defense coming up with another stop on 4th down. And Bomber, this team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 15-1 coming into this week, or 15-1 in the regular season. I don't know. They just don't look right out there. The rhythm on offense isn't there.
Taking away the underneath is making Stafford have to go looking underneath.
Ganther fell down. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I saw that. Making Stafford have to go from looking underneath to going back upfield, that's a hard transition for a quarterback. You want his eyes downfield, and then you want him to come down underneath. I find Stafford looking for the out on the right side, then a flat to the right side. He didn't like it, so then he turns his head upfield, and he doesn't really know where the defense is.
Handoff on 1st down to Alvin Kamara. He's got some room. He cuts it outside, and he's running away 40. The only one who can catch him. Juke move for Kamara. He's running. He's at the 15, the 10. He's going to be taken down at the 10-yard line. But Alvin Kamara breaking off the big run. He must have been listening to NBL Live, Bomber, because he bounced that bad boy outside and got down to the 10.
Alvin Kamara showing us a playoff version. He's upset. He fumbled on the first drive for this team, put this team in the hole from literally seconds into this game. He's trying to make up for it right now in the 3rd quarter.
1st and 10 for the Baltimore Ravens, just outside of the 10-yard line. 4:18 to go here in the 3rd quarter and counting. On 1st down, it's going to be a handoff. On 1st down, he's got some room. Bouncing off tacklers. He's going to find the end zone. That was Holt with the carry as Alvin Kamara did most of the work. And Holt said, "Thank you very much, Alvin. I will take the touchdown," as Baltimore is going to get the kick away, too. Can't believe that wasn't blocked. 17-13. Improbably the Ravens on top.
I thought that block was incoming. I said, oh, that really changes things if it would have been 15-16 right now. 17-13, Pittsburgh just needs to calm down, settle down, go back to their bread and butter. It looks like Baltimore's trying to take away the underneath. It's time to get a little vertical offense here from Matt Stafford in this Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
A reminder, folks, this game started out fumble on the first play from scrimmage for the Baltimore Ravens. The Pittsburgh Steelers scored the first 10 points. It looked like it was going to be a textbook Steelers blowout. But the Baltimore Ravens defense has played phenomenally, holding Pittsburgh to only a field goal after those first couple of drives. And Baltimore's been able to reclaim the lead. 17-13 your score. Matt Stafford and the offense coming back out on the field. He'll drop back on 1st and 10. Waiting, looks over the middle of the field for Drake Christian. It's a 1st down and more up past midfield. The man coverage was not very good, and Drake Christian got some room.
Yeah, and why is C.J. Mosley on Drake Christian? That's just too easy. You can't do that unless you're going to user that guy. You can't allow the computer outside linebacker C.J. Mosley to guard a speedster like Drake Christian.
Amir Abdullah gets taken down right at the line of scrimmage as we find Kenneth Dixon. Actually, it was Kenneth Dixon with the carry. I thought it was Holt. They brought in the 3rd-string running back, Kenneth Dixon, who got the touchdown, and he got hurt on the play. But hey, good for you, big fella. You managed to get a touchdown.
Yeah, there you go. And he ran into his own man about 3 times. Still ended up getting into the end zone. So, hey, man, you got to take it how you can get it, I assume.
They got to stop bringing Trent Richardson into practice.
Or reading his book on how to run.
Yeah, it's just not great reading material. 2nd and 10 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another empty backfield, 5 wide receivers. As it's Stafford, quick 3-step drop, looks underneath. It is complete to Jesse James. Gets to the 40-yard line. Didn't get the first down, though. Nice tackle near the first down marker. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, quick read again from Matt Stafford. We're seeing flats, slants. Everything's really quickly getting rid of the ball. You know, that most of that comes from not Matt Stafford trying to go underneath. Matt Stafford realizing he's been sacked 62 times this year. That internal clock starts going off very quickly when you start getting shook in that way. So now Matt Stafford's getting rid of the ball very fast. 3 minutes left. NBL Live broadcast number 218. I almost said 118.
I almost said 118. It's not.
Wow.
That was a while ago.
I've been 100 off. Yeah.
Big 3rd and 1 now.
Edit this out. Just edit it out.
Yeah, this isn't live at all. Don't worry. Nobody heard that. 3rd and 1.
Absolutely.
For the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's going to be Matt Stafford in the shotgun. Abdullah to his left. He's going to go in motion. Looks like they're setting up the screen to the outside. Abdullah catches it. He has the first down and more. Juke move. He's up past the 20. Spin move. And Amir Abdullah showing off the agility. 40 yards to the house. Some poor tackling by the Ravens. And the quick feet. Amir Abdullah confirmed for Dancing with the Stars and confirmed with a touchdown.
Most of the time this game, we've seen Matt Stafford just go underneath to the flats. You know, at some point, the Baltimore Ravens have to realize, let's see if he can make a throw down the field. So much underneath that has gone so far. It's time for the Baltimore Ravens to adjust, and I just don't see it happening on defense right there. The user coverage was very bad. It didn't go down there. It didn't even recognize the man in motion. They made a nice little swing play to the flat. You got to take that away if you're Baltimore. You've seen it too much today.
This return, it's a good one up past the 30 to the 35-yard line. So Baltimore offense is going to come back out. Bomber, man, yeah, that looked like an opportunity to get a stop. You had to think Pittsburgh was going underneath on 3rd and 1. Baltimore, just some poor recognition, some nice blocking on the edge, and then Amir Abdullah did the rest.
Yeah, you saw the user coverage take an angle to get back to safely make the conservative tackle, and all he did was give him the space to aggressively go for the hit stick. This might be a game-changing tide here for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And Andrew Luck's going to throw it on first down. Looks underneath. It is complete to Max Williams up to the 40-yard line. Give him 5 on the play. We're not seeing a whole lot of shots. Very conservative, but Baltimore doing a nice job offensively of mixing up the play calling. And now Andrew Luck's going to come out with 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 to the right. He's got Alvin Kamara in the backfield, up over 100 yards already. Play action pass. Luck's going to be throwing for a second straight play. Looks over to the right side. It is complete down to the 38-yard line. Luck, a very patient play there, and he finds Widmer with his first catch of the day. 22 yards and another first down.
That's what happens when you hard flat against Andrew Luck. He finds a slot crosser just behind the hard flat and in front of the deep safety. Nice throw, nice recognition there for Andrew Luck, and these Baltimore Ravens are moving.
They handed off to Kamara on first down. You had to think that was coming, and the Pittsburgh Steelers were ready for that one. As Motor in the chat saying, Detroit just let Stafford and Abdullah walk. Bomber, your response?
I don't remember even having Abdullah for one.
I think the actual Detroit Lions need to let Abdullah walk.
It was a financial. I mean, he was going to make $28 million last year. We've already won a chip with him. We had to let him test free agency, and then we saw Aaron Rodgers and set our sights in different direction. Overthrow there for Andrew Luck. Big opportunity.
That's a big opportunity, a bad one, because now it's a 3rd and 11 for the Ravens. That was open. That was probably a first down, Bomber, and Andrew Luck showing his inner Matt Stafford.
Andrew Luck, first bad pass of the game. At least it wasn't intercepted. 3rd and 11. Do not take a sack here. Do not take a sack. Try to see if you can just pick up a few yards and give yourself a kicker.
How about a first down? How about a first?
I'll take that. I'll take a first down.
Andrew Luck finding Centennial fairly at the 24-yard line. Quick throw as Porter in the chat, Bomber, saying Stafford has played his best of his career in Pittsburgh. He fits the scheme so much better than in Detroit. Porter, I think
hey, go look at Aaron Rodgers' stats this year. Ain't been bad. He's been pretty well, pretty good.
Go look at the Washington Redskins stats this year. It's 3 yards on the play for Holt. Gonna bring up a 2nd and 7.
Belisari fits the Redskins scheme. It's just throw picks. I mean, he's good at that. That's what they do, and
one of the best actually.
He's one of the best, and he's good at beating a Bears team when the Bears have won like 12 games, and then they just come out and beat them and give their fans some hope.
2nd and 7. Luck looking underneath. He's going to complete it down to the 14-yard line. Uh-oh, he is holding his lead.
Oh, that's a big injury.
I think that was Widmer with the catch on that. But nope, that's Oscar Adkins with the catch as he is holding his knee, and that is bad news bears for the Ravens because Adkins has been fantastic for them today.
And that's my issue with Andrew Luck. You know, you look at that throw, that was just a little late. If he would have hit that drag just a little bit earlier, Atkins could have caught the ball, turned upfield because he had got past the yellow zone safe linebacker. He could have turned it upfield and been into the safety territory, but instead he waits, and the guy in the hard flat ends up being there, and then he gets hit by the linebacker.
3rd and inches, handoff to the fullback. Looks like he's going to have the first down as N-Train getting in here saying, go look at Rodgers' stats. Not as good as Stanford's. So apparently, Bomber Aaron Rodgers, not as good as the entire Stanford Cardinal football team.
I don't know what to say with that argument.
Your quarterback's not as good as a college, man. I'm sorry. That's
highest QBR in the game right now. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to.
You don't want to say that.
Sure.
Should check the stats on that one. As that one is thrown to Alvin Kamara. He'll get up to the 8-yard line. What we have over here in the third quarter, I want to remind everybody to check out our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. Huge supporter of the NBL network. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for affordable price, hit up Web3KS.com. Let them know NBL sent you. You will get 15% off your entire order. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design, is flying on the play.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, as Adkins will return. It looked like Baltimore
declined it.
Yeah,
wow.
They declined it. Okay.
Nobody's declining that. Come on. Hey, if it's simulation mode and Ryan Shazier goes off sides, however you feel it happened, everybody just take it every time it happens, and then there's no issue. Some person doesn't take it, then it happens at the end of the game, and then Lip takes it. How, you know what I mean? I would just take it every time. Everybody take it if it's against me, take it every time. And then I'll take it every time, and then we'll all be even.
2 tight ends, I formation for Andrew Luck, changing up the play as he surveys the Pittsburgh defense. 2nd and 5, tight end come in motion from the right to the left. Look for the stretch back to the right side. Nope, they're going to run it to the left. Follow the power, and look at Alvin Kamara get up to the 4-yard line. I think he has the first. Nope, he is just short of the first down, but Alvin Kamara, a speed back bomber, showing off the power between the tackles.
Yeah, it's been weird today with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. A lot of those tackle battles have been popping up, and it just seems like they're not. It's almost like they're going for a conservative tackle right now. But this is the 4th quarter now. You could go for this on 4th down, which 3rd and inches. If you got 2 opportunities to pick up inches in this situation, if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I know I got the #1 defense, and I trust that defense. They've held Pittsburgh to 20 through 3 quarters. I might go for it, though. I might run the ball twice right here and give my team an opportunity to take this lead.
3 tight ends to the right side, 1 wide receiver out there. Tight end coming in motion from the right to the left. That is Max Williams. Alvin Kamara in the backfield, 3rd and inches. It's going to be Luck dropping back to pass. Waiting, looking, throws it to the slant route. It was in his hands, and he dropped it. Incomplete pass. And Bomber, I didn't like that because it looked like the tight end running that little hook over the middle was all sorts of open.
If you can't hit the man wide open right in front of you, I'm going to start wondering what you're looking at and why you're looking in that direction. Wide open, right in front of them. Now they got to take the tie 20-20.
Big shout out to Kanye262 now hosting us. Appreciate the host. Appreciate everybody tuning into NBL Live Broadcast 218. Stick with us, folks. Doubleheader action tonight. We've got the Chargers and the Browns coming up immediately following this game. Playoff action continuing on, but this one is far from over. It is 20-20. Bomber, I keep bringing it up. Pittsburgh scored the first 10 points. How many people do you think really thought that Baltimore would be tied here in the 4th quarter after giving up the first 10 unanswered?
I mean, it's been a good defensive scheme. At times, they've taken away the underneath. It's worked well, and then at times they go back to the traditional not take it away. So there's been issues all around the board.
Deep pass looking for Inslee, who makes the possession catch to the 48-yard line. Just in front of the safety. Nice throw there from Matt Stafford on the money. First down, Pittsburgh, right by midfield.
And squeezes that in there. Nice dime there from Matt Stafford. Threw for over 5,000 yards this season, at 50 touchdowns. Matt Stafford has been phenomenal this year, and that's the real first pass we've seen him actually squeeze it against the zone coverage, and it was a beauty. Nice throw and catch there for Matt Stafford to his tight end.
First and 10, Stafford dropping back on first down. Stafford goes down. It's another sack for this Baltimore defense as Wormley with the sack. And Bomber, what I noticed on that play, we saw press coverage on the outside on those C routes, and it was a great job inside that 5-yard window, slowing down those speedy wide receivers and not letting them get a clean release.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on offensively. You got to keep Matt Stafford upright. You got man coverage. You got what you like. All 3 of your receivers can beat man coverage. Matt Stafford, he's got to be able to stand up because that's the only way he can throw the ball. And right now the defense is taking that away from him. 2nd
and 15, Stafford dropping back, looking over the middle of the field for Drake Christian. Another possession catch, another tight window, and Matt Stafford making the throws right now. First down, Pittsburgh at the 38-yard line.
That's a nice throw right there by Matt Stafford. His 2 best throws of the game have came on this drive, 20-20. Matt Stafford is clutching up right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Bananas in the chat saying, back to that offsides decline. Doughboy accepted that against me to close the game out.
See, that's what I'm saying. And I have no problem with that. Everybody just accept it. Do not, not accept it.
Do not accept it. As Howard's open over the middle, the covered 2 man. Howard splits the safeties and gets down to the 7-yard line. Just when it looked like Stafford was only throwing it underneath Bomber, they take a shot over the top, showing that covered 2 man, and Matt Stafford takes advantage.
That's just bad user play right there. If anybody was watching that, actually, that was the route I was actually watching. And Hound just got completely shook up by that double move. And they're in trouble here. They've got to hold them to 3 because I don't know if Baltimore can put any points on the board.
Abdullah with the carry on that trap run. Got 5 yards on the play. A great tackle, though, saving that one. Going to bring up a 2nd and goal, Bomber. What do you think, Pittsburgh? You got to think Pittsburgh's maybe looking for that jet sweep down here at the goal line.
Maybe a jet sweep. I think they like to do that on 3rd down. But this is the formation for it. This is 2 wide receivers, 2 tight end, and a halfback. Here it comes.
It's a quick 3-step drop. Waiting, looking, looks at the slant route. Javier Howard, all sorts of open. Touchdown Steelers. The quick slants works to perfection as Baltimore came out in man coverage. And the Pittsburgh wide receiver, one of the best in the league, Javier Howard, gets the touchdown to put the Steelers on top.
Yeah, just too easy right there. You know what you're going to see. When you see 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends set on the goal line with Pittsburgh, you're going to get a slant, flat concept route. That's what Stafford's going to look for. Or you're going to get that wide receiver quick. It didn't look like they played towards any of that. I think the wide receiver quick might have walked in as well. Sometimes head-scratching for a Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator. I'm asking myself, what are you seeing here? What are you doing? I mean, they have held Pittsburgh to 27 points, but that was a much-needed stop they needed right there, and they didn't get it.
Now Baltimore's got to stick to their game plan and make sure that they get a touchdown on this drive. 3:44 to go. Not try to force too much. Man coming in motion. Looks like this is going to be the PAFK. Quick. Waiting, looking. He's going to lob this to the wheel route. It is complete down, but now he stepped on the line. It's an incomplete pass. It was a nice throw by Luck, but it looked like that was Fairley with the catch on the sidelines and didn't look his feet inbounds.
Yeah, that was a big opportunity there. You got Shazier on Fairley. Fairley's got the speed, but not by much. Ryan Shazier makes up the gap, makes Andrew Luck have to put the ball up and over the top. Just a little late on the delivery for Andrew Luck.
Big shout out EA Madden NFL, our good friends over at EA, joining us in the chat right now. What's going on, EA? Pay no attention to the fact that Porter spelled welcome with an X. We are better than that. He spelled it welcome.
Absolutely. Biggest 3rd down of the game here, 3rd and 14 on their own 21-yard line. Now, you can go for it on 4th down per NBL rules, but the way Baltimore Ravens defense has, they're going to have to win it with their defense. I don't think they go for it if they don't pick this up.
It's Luck dropping back on 3rd and 14, waiting, looking. He's taking a deep shot, one-on-one, and he catches it at the 36-yard line in one-on-one man coverage, coming up with a big play. Baltimore's down to the 36-yard line as big players make big plays in the big time. It's playoff action.
What a throw, what a catch. That's the right read. You step up in the pocket and you just fire it and let it loose. Big play for Andrew Luck.
Oh, no. Oh, the user gets lost in coverage on the outside. It looked like a real bad throw. That corner, that little C route on the left side looked like it was going to be picked off, but Oscar Adkins coming up with a catch as it looked like Lip got lost on the left sideline, and now 3 wide receivers, 2:32 to go. It's Luck dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Waiting, looking, and he takes a sack at the 24-yard line. George getting in the backfield. Bomber, I'm surprised we haven't seen Alvin Kamara touch the ball.
We haven't. It's been Andrew Luck's show this entire final drive, which is trying to follow up a Matt Stafford show that drove the Pittsburgh Steelers down for 7. Man, I'm just really hyped right now, and if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm just thinking, no pick, no pick, no pick the entire time Andrew Luck is dropping back.
Luck's dropping back once again, 4-man rush. It looks like a screen pass to Alvin Kamara. It's well covered, but he's going to pick up a good chunk of that yardage back. He'll get it back to a 3rd and 9. As we've hit the 2-minute warning, Bomber, now you've got to think 4-down territory. Baltimore needs a touchdown to tie this game up. My question for you is, let's say they do get in the end zone. If I'm Baltimore, I think I'm going for 2.
Oh, wow, that's gutsy.
I'm on the road. I'm going for it.
I can't get there. Mentally, I can't get there. That's just me. But I understand exactly where you're coming from. But they got to get in the end zone first. 3rd and 9. Let's see what they do.
And Luck dropping back, waiting. Looks underneath, and it's complete. It looks like he has the first down at the 7-yard line. That was Centennial Fairley with the catch, and they do have the first down. Minute 50 to go and counting, and Baltimore 7 yards from getting an opportunity to tie this game up. 1st and goal as they break the huddle. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left side, 1 over to the right. Holt in the game at halfback to the right of Andrew Luck, and it looks like it's going to be a handoff. A really slow developing handoff. Holt breaks a tackle, though, in the backfield. Breaks another tackle and is able to turn a play that should have been a loss of 3 into a gain of 1. Going to bring out a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, you got to wonder about Holt now. This is the 2nd time they brought him in the game in this exact situation. Inside the 10, they're letting their big man eat. You said he's 3rd on the depth chart, but, man, he's eating anytime they get inside the 10. But Alvin Kamara back in the game now.
And he gets a carry, and he goes right up the gut and is only going to get to the 5-yard line. A yard on the play. Look like Pittsburgh ready for the run play. And now on 3rd and goal from the 5 Bomber 4-down territory, I think I'm pondering getting into a shotgun formation, spreading it out, and giving the ball to Alvin Kamara.
Man, I don't know, man. You got 2 plays to get in the end zone here. You're saying go for the 2-point conversion if they get in 2. Things can get really exciting. This is NBL Live broadcast number 218. But here we go. Let's see what Luck got.
Luck's dropping back to pass. Blitz picked up. Looks to the outside. Almost picked off by Artie Burns. That was triple coverage over there on the little zig route. And now 4th and goal. And this looks like it should be the ball game. I know Baltimore has 3 timeouts left, but they need a score here. They're 5 yards away.
Man, I would have liked to put the guy on the far left on a slant. I believe that was Fairley or Oscar Atkins over there. Put him on a slant. He was wide in an island by himself and allow your receiver to make a play. It was Oscar Atkins. Missed a golden opportunity there. 4th and goal. Play action on the end around. Luck rolling out to the right side, waiting, looking. Looks in the middle of the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens! What a throw by Andrew Luck, and he finds his man coming across on the dig route, and Baltimore is an extra point away from tying this up with 43 seconds to go, and he shakes the extra point! He misses it wide right! Oh, what a turn of events here in the playoffs! He should have went for 2. Are you kidding? Did he just shake? I was about to call Andrew Luck the doctor because he had so much patience on that last play. But he shakes that. They shake the extra point. Are you kidding me? Hound must be shaking right now. He must be shaking.
They shake
This didn't happen, right? Wow.
I have so many people in the chat going OT, and it's all turned into a whole lot of WTFs as a shank on the extra point, and Pittsburgh has a 1-point lead. Baltimore does have 3 timeouts left. They need their defense to stand tall once again. And it's a handoff to Amir Abdullah, cuts it back inside. He'll get to the 36-yard line. First timeout taken by Baltimore. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5. What did we just see from the Baltimore Ravens? They get the big touchdown, and then Justin Tucker, who hit a 58-yarder earlier, couldn't convert the extra point.
This is feeling a lot like Steamboat Savage, WrestleMania. How are they going to follow this game? How are the Browns Chargers going to be able to follow this performance by the Steelers?
Handoff to Abdullah right up the middle. Get a yard on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Baltimore needs this stop here. Bomber, if you're Pittsburgh, let's say you get stopped. Maybe you probably run the ball here. Get a couple yards. Maybe don't pick up a first down. Do you ponder just punting it and playing the field position game?
Because field goal blocks are so real in Madden 18, and they change so much. I mean, a field goal block could essentially – this is what happened last year to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were going for a field goal, got blocked for 6. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5, they're going to hand off to Bernard, trying to get around the outside. One man to beat. Oh, what a tackle at the 33-yard line. Oh, the big fella getting out there on the buck sweep. And now it looks like Pittsburgh's lining up for the field goal. Timing wasn't perfect, but the ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. 24 seconds to go. Pittsburgh extends it to a 4-point lead.
And this is crazy. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, I don't know if they have Wildcat in their playbook, but 24 seconds. We've seen this kick return almost get back to the house earlier in this game. Let's see what they can do here.
They're going to try to return this one, make something happen. Jukin, weaving, winding. He's going to get up to the 30-yard line, so they need to go 70 yards in 20 seconds with no timeouts, Bomber. I'd say it's impossible, but Then again, we've seen some weird stuff on NBL Live. We've seen some weird stuff in this game. The Baltimore Ravens needing a miracle to pull off the victory, a game they have played so well in. Andrew Luck in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Alvin Kamara to his right, man coming in motion. He drops back to pass, 3-man rush from the Steelers. Quick throw over the middle. It is complete up to midfield. 13 seconds and counting, and Baltimore's going to have to get the spike off. 10 seconds and counting. Luck getting everybody to the line, trying to set up something. Nope, they're in the shotgun. They're going to go for it here with 4 seconds left. This is your ball game, folks. It's Andrew Luck dropping back. 3-man rush from the Steelers. They're dropping everybody. Luck is going to get sacked, and that's going to be the ball game. George getting the big play at the end, and the Steelers escape with a victory here at home. They will get to yet another AFC Championship game with a 30-26 victory. Bomber, what a ball game. First half of the doubleheader.
You know, I predicted a score of 42, I believe, to 17. Steelers over the Ravens. I want to congratulate the Ravens right now for making this a really just a tear-jerking performance if you're a Ravens fan. If you're a Steelers fan, maybe the same thing for you, because this game was crazy. This was supposed to be a walk-away blowout win for the Steelers, and maybe this is their game where they kind of play down to their competition and the Ravens kind of play up to theirs. Divisional matchups matter. I'm telling you, all teams play tighter against their division opponents, and what we saw today was an insane performance from both teams. Andrew Luck, a 109 QBR, Stafford, a 127, and we just got to see a lot of great football, a lot of great NBL action, and that play-action rollout on 4th and goal where Andrew Luck ran to the right side and whipped it across his body, only to be followed up by the missed extra point, but still, what a performance for Andrew Luck at the end to clutch up, along with Matt Stafford, went on a great drive before that.
Oh, what an unbelievable game, folks. Again, stick with us if you're hanging out with us tonight. We've got the other game coming up next. Second half of the doubleheader. Chargers and Browns will be kicking off at the conclusion of this little quick post-game and our pregame show for the next game. So don't miss that one. It's going to be another great game. Time to pick our player of the game for Broadcast 218, Bomber. This is a team with the Steelers. You usually think of Matt Stafford. You think of the offense. For me, it's Charlton George. 3 sacks on the day, including that last one to keep Andrew Luck from finding the end zone. George played great, but if you have another suggestion, throw it out there.
I'll go with Charlton George. I mean, I like the name. So we can go with that. You can find all our player of the games on 365.maddenbomberleague.com. The 365 is because we do go August to August. And, yeah, I mean, I'm there. Matt Stafford is up there. I might have selected him, but the 3 sacks, getting pressure to Andrew Luck really changed the outcome of this game, especially during the meat and potatoes of this game, towards the middle of it, when it was kind of just a standstill for both teams. They allowed their offense that was kind of not playing and performing at the high level we're used to seeing with the Steelers, kind of allowed them to just kind of find their rhythm and find their way, and Stafford came through at the end with a nice clutch drive. But yeah, I'm going to go with Charlton George on the defensive end.
Charlton George, be your player of the game for Broadcast 218. You can check them out. Check out all of our player of the game selections on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Well, that's one half of the doubleheader down. Bomber, deep breath. Get that heart rate down because we've got another game coming up. Let's take a look at that bracket, folks. As we see the Pittsburgh Steelers moving on, they are one half of the AFC Championship. We've already seen the NFC Championship games. The NFC Championship game is filled out. Lions and Seahawks over on the NFC side. One spot remains. It is the Chargers and the Browns. Should be a great game. Bomber, it is tough to follow up that one, though. It's just absolutely brutal to follow up a game like that.
Absolutely. I mean, this felt like the Steamboat Savage WrestleMania card where they just put on such a big performance that it's going to be hard for any team or anybody to follow up what just happened. I mean, we literally saw a game where it was David versus Goliath, and essentially David went all the way down the field and threw a touchdown and then missed the extra point. I mean, obviously, that adds to the drama as well, but still, it was completely an emotional thriller. As a Steelers fan, part of the Champions Club, I look around and I'm going, oh, well, he's going to pull this off, right? He's going to pull this off. And then when Andrew Luck threw that pass across the back of the end zone, I said, wow, man, this might really happen today. Is this really, something could crazy happen? Abdullah could fumble. Stafford could throw an interception. Anything crazy could have happened in those last, 30, 40 seconds. But we never got to see the end of that.
What an unbelievable first game here, as we've got the other game getting ready to go. The Steelers moving on. Let's see who they will face. They might face another AFC North team, as we've got the Browns and the Chargers coming up as we load that one up. Let's take a look at some of the players to watch for this game between the Browns and the Chargers. On the side of the Cleveland Browns, we've got Duke Johnson. And Duke Johnson at halfback. This is a team led by Isaiah Crowell for much of this cycle. Duke Johnson taking over, and he's had a real nice season. This was a guy I think a lot of people in the NBL questioned whether or not he could be the lead back in Cleveland because of the fact that he's much more of that scat back. Would Darren Sproles be that lead back? Would Reggie Bush be a lead back? Duke Johnson's had a real nice season. 142 carries, 907 yards, averaging 6.4 per carry, and 11 touchdowns. And he's been forced to really carry the brunt of the load at times. We have seen the young quarterback Watson go out with injury. Duke Johnson having to be that sort of solidifying force for the Cleveland Browns. And Duke Johnson has really performed admirably. And it's going to be a tough task today for Johnson because they're facing off against an LA Chargers team with some of the best, let's say, front nine. The 5 offensive linemen and 4 defensive linemen. This defense, the lines, the trenches for the Chargers are just so good. It is so hard to play against them. So Johnson is going to have his hands full. Bomber, we know how good Joey Bosa is on the edge. We know how good, how stout this defense is of the Chargers. How much success do you see Duke Johnson having today for the Cleveland Browns?
Duke Johnson is the man for the Cleveland Browns. You know, they had the Crow for a while. Isaiah Crowell was the guy. Duke Johnson kind of played in the back burner. You know, he kind of was the third down guy at times. He had injury issues, but he's been pretty much the main guy this year. 142 attempts, 970 yards, 11 touchdowns, split carries with C.J. Anderson. But I like Duke Johnson Jr. I think for them to win tonight, they need to get the ground game going. We know what we're going to get from MG2K. Melvin Gordon, he's getting a little old, right? And so Father Time's starting to catch up to Melvin Gordon, but still a dominant running team, and you cannot deny that. As he slows down a little bit, he still is putting up the numbers, though, so you need a running attack to counter effect these Los Angeles Chargers on the ground.
On the flip side, let's talk about Melvin Gordon because he may be getting up there in age, but he is still carrying a huge load for this this LA Chargers team. As Sloppy Jalopy now following here at Twitch. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate everybody tuning in today. Melvin Gordon, 260 carries for the Los Angeles Chargers, 1,300 yards, 5.4 per carry, and 13 touchdowns. Bomber.
Wait. We're not doing this justice, this Melvin Gordon. For those just tuning in right now, you want to know Melvin Gordon once ran 255 times for 2,101 yards. That was NBL season 29. We're currently in NBL season 31. Melvin Gordon's 29 years old. Yes, he's slightly on the decline. He's a year into declining. But this guy, the last 3 seasons, OSU, check out this. Or should I say the last four of the last 5 seasons. 249 attempts, 255 attempts, 262, and this year 260. How much tread is left on those tires is what we got to ask right now. Is Melvin Gordon still have enough to push his team? This would be a three-peat, right? Into the Super Bowl. They went back-to-back. They haven't been able to get it done. This is a team looking to get that
well, they still got to get through the AFC Championship.
Still have to get through the AFC, but they've been back-to-back, and they're looking. They've came up short a couple times now. So they're trying to get over that mountain, which is winning a Super Bowl in the NBL.
And they are facing off against a team that many has called the luckiest team in the history of the NBL. They have some leprechauns and 4-leaf clovers in the locker room. The Cleveland Browns have come away with some unbelievable wins. Who's going to come out with the win today, though, Bomber? Part 2 of the doubleheader. Everybody's getting primed. Everybody's got their, they've rehydrated. They may be taking a quick power nap, but we're ready for game 2 of the doubleheader divisional action. Who do you like? Are the Chargers going to set up another matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers to try to get to the Super Bowl, or the Cleveland Browns going to get back to the AFC Championship game? A team who I think a little underrated. A lot of people don't think of them as one of the great teams here in this cycle, but the Browns have been very consistent. Who's going to come out with the win today here in the second game?
I got to go with the home team, Los Angeles Chargers, just because I feel home field advantage is going to matter in this game. I'm going to go with the Chargers in a close one, 27-24 over Cleveland. But this is going to be a thriller, too. I don't expect this game to be any worse than the last game. I expect them both to be just as great. This was supposed to be the main event, but, man, that game before really stepped it up a notch. So let's see what the Chargers-Browns can do here on NBL Live. Is this broadcast number 219 or is it still 218? 219, wow. Wow.
It should be a great matchup, folks. We are ready to finish off this divisional doubleheader. Coming up next, we have part 2 of what has been a great night of NBL football. The playoffs continue here in season 31. It is 2 of the franchises looking to get a Super Bowl victory. They're going to need to get a win today in the divisional round. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Chargers. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live. Backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. And we are live for game 2 of a playoff doubleheader. We had one great matchup earlier. We've got another great matchup coming up. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in to MBO Live Broadcast 219. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, the Commish Bomber. We're going to see who's going to face off against the Pittsburgh Steelers in that AFC Championship game. Both championships games. Doubleheader action coming up Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We've got the Cleveland Browns facing off against the Los Angeles Chargers. What an absolute great night of football here, Bomber. We saw a fantastic finish, lots of twists and turns in that Ravens-Steelers game, and it's hard to believe, but that was the one I think most people expected to be a little more lopsided. These two teams facing off right now, very evenly matched, should be a great matchup in game 2.
Yeah, we got a great matchup between out of the Steelers and the game against the Ravens, a divisional matchup, a game with a lot of rivalry in-house between the two teams. We just didn't expect, as viewers from afar, we didn't expect the game to be too close. And man, boy, were we wrong. That game was probably an instant classic here for NBL Live.
The Cleveland Browns coming out on offense first. Rookie quarterback Joe Watson under center. Duke Johnson at the top of the eye on 1st and 10. It's going to be Watson dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. And he is going to find the fullback underneath on the angle route. Give him 8 yards on the play. Bomber Joe Watson drafted last year in what many called the draft of the quarterback. The Browns, the last team to take a quarterback of the 6 that went in the first round. I think they're pretty happy with how Joe Watson's turned out.
Yeah, Joe Watson, he's kind of made the news in the media just a little bit because they did talk about benching him. Actually, he was drafted this season. I know it seems like a long, long time for Joe Watson to be in the NBL, but he's a rookie right now, OSU. And they talked about kind of moving around, going to their backup, but they stayed with him throughout the whole year. He's had a lot of ups and downs, but he looks to right his wrongs here in the playoffs.
And he makes a nice throw over the middle to David Njoku. Big first down for the Browns as they're starting out throwing the ball. And Bomber Njoku is going to be a big target for Joe Watson. He's become that safety blanket, the big guy with good hands that he can find to pick up a big first down.
Joe Watson on the season, 25 touches, 25 touchdowns, 28 interceptions with an 87.8 rookie QBR. They want to see him closer to 100, but let's see what he can do here in the playoffs.
Corner blitz coming from the Chargers. He gets it off quickly, finds Duke Johnson, spin move, and he'll pick up 9 on the play up to the 32-yard line. And that's something you don't see too many rookie quarterbacks have, Bomber. Seeing that clock go off, seeing the corner blitz not picked up, and he's able to get rid of the ball quickly and get a very positive gain.
Yeah, you're blitzing on the blind side of Joe Watson to the left side. He comes free off the blitz. He checks to the left, sees it, dumps it off to the halfback. Great job by the young quarterback. He's making all the right reads right now.
Now 2nd and 1 for the Cleveland Browns. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Joe Watson. Duke Johnson in the backfield on 2nd down. As Watson surveying the defense, he can drop back to pass once again. He's passed every play so far. He completes another one. This one, that looks like it was Corey Coleman with the catch up to the 23-yard line. 4-4 to start this game. And Bomber 4, real easy reads for Joe Watson. Great job by the offensive coordinator getting Watson into a rhythm.
Yeah, we talked about David Johnson Jr. being an impact player. I mean, he's averaging 6.4 yards per carry. C.J. Anderson, 6 yards per carry. L.A. comes into this thinking the first drive they're going to establish a run. That's not happening. They're going with the young rookie, and they're letting him sling it down the field. 1st and 10
for the Chargers, or excuse me, for the Browns. They're going to hand it off to Duke Johnson right in the middle of this Chargers defensive line, doing what they do so well. Bringing down Duke Johnson for no gain. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 right now with not much yardage behind them. This is going to allow the Los Angeles Chargers pesky secondary to just play a little bit tighter underneath to close up those windows that might be there if they're further back on the field. So right now it's very dangerous for Joe Watson. He has to be smart with the ball. He has to make the right reads and has to put a little zip on the ball. 2
tight ends, 2 wide receivers as Watson play action pass. He's rolling out to the right side. He's going to look underneath. It is complete down to the 17-yard line. He finds David Njoku leaking out to the flat. Going to bring up a 3rd and 4. Cleveland looking to get off to a good start. You know they want 6 on this drive.
Absolutely. You want 6 every drive. The rookie quarterback looks like he has it in his head right now. Take what the defense gives you. That's what they were preaching throughout this entire week as they prepared for this divisional matchup versus the Los Angeles Chargers, and it looks like he's doing that early in this game.
3rd and 4, shotgun formation for Watson. 3 wide receivers, 2 over the left side, 1 over to the right. They need 4 for a first down. He drops back to pass on 3rd down. Waiting, looking, finding, complete. Touchdown, Browns. What a throw there by Joe Watson. They saw the user. He puts a little touch on the ball and completes it to the end zone. What a play by the rookie quarterback, Bomber. Watson not looking like a rookie today as he gets Cleveland on top early.
Yeah, attacking the user. Nice throw, nice catch. Now, my question is, why was the user shading so far in front of him? Why didn't he just play in front of him? It seemed like he was almost trying to wait for that route to cross, but instead he gets burned as he throws it back shoulder. Nice pitch, nice catch there for Joe Watson. The rookie 1 for 1 on each drive now. He's already got a touchdown, so he's batting 1,000.
Bomber, the Chargers coming out. You got to think the key to this game is containing Melvin Gordon and forcing Carson Wentz to beat you. This Chargers team has struggled at times when Carson Wentz has been forced to throw it a lot.
Absolutely. Carson Wentz is kind of a guy they brought in from Houston. Didn't expect him to be a pass-heavy kind of quarterback. He had struggling years in Philly. That's a nice spin move. Melvin Gordon, does he ever? He seems like the LeBron James of the NBL. The older he gets,
with a better hairline.
The better he gets with a much better hairline.
I mean, I don't know. He's got that helmet on. I don't know what he's got going on.
I don't know how far it's pushed back. I guess we really don't know that.
But he's got the flowing locks, though. So you've got to think he has a better hairline as he picks up 5 off the great spin move. So now we go 2nd and 5 for the Chargers. Carson Wentz comes out under center. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left side, 1 over to the right. Melvin Gordon in the backfield as the Cleveland Browns showing a very heavy box. And on 2nd and 5, play action pass for Carson Wentz. Waiting, looking. He's got all the time in the world as this offensive line is maybe the best. As he finds, Melvin Gordon, a little playmaker down the field. And Gordon gets to the 34-yard line. And that's going to be what you can expect, Bomber, if you bring 3-man rushes. This offensive line is going to contain that. No matter how good the Cleveland defensive line is, this offensive line is too good to only be bringing 3 on a play.
Absolutely. One of the best offensive lines in the NBL. You're going to send a 3-man rush, and you're going to put the ends on contain. That's not going to be good enough to get to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz actually had a pretty good season. He battled injury a little bit. 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 124 QBR. Let's see if he can continue that success here in NBL Season 31 playoffs.
Handoff to Perry on 1st down. He'll fight for it for 2 yards as he's able to keep driving the legs. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. Just when you think it's going to be the Melvin Gordon show on the ground, Melvin Gordon gets involved in the passing game. Carson Wentz, a nice playmaker, rolling out, being patient, and finds Melvin Gordon down the field as they're down to the 32-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. Bomber, this Cleveland Browns defensive line, though, is no slouch with Myles Garrett on the edge.
Not at all. Myles Garrett has to get to the quarterback. When they're sending 3, they're basically saying, we believe Myles Garrett can break 2 of these offensive linemen off and get to the quarterback.
As Melvin Gordon tries to find some room up the middle, and he is taken down immediately. Going to bring up a 3rd and 8. No gain on the play as we saw Darius with the tackle there. And now it's going to be up to Carson Wentz. This is where he's struggled at times, Bomber, but he has the skills to make the right throws.
Absolutely. I mean, his QBR 127, he gets a lot of flack. He's kind of like the Chris Bosh when he was on the Miami Heat. It seems like they always seem to blame him when things go bad. Things don't go bad too often, but when they do, they're blaming Carson Wentz. But he's been pretty effective for this team.
Wentz, 3 wide receivers. He drops back to pass on 3rd and 8. Blitz coming in is picked up. He looks for Hunter Henry over the middle, and Henry makes the catch. A late recognition by the safety coming over to make the play on Hunter Henry, who comes up with another big 1st down catch. He is a big target for Carson Wentz. They're maybe a little fortunate there. Some bad defense in the secondary there by the Cleveland Browns.
A blitz that doesn't show up, leaves you a little thin on the backside. Carson Wentz takes advantage of that. Nice little double move there for Hunter Henry. They pick up the 1st down. Now they're at the 10-yard line. Let's see if they can punch it in. 2
wide receivers, 2 tight ends. For Carson Wentz, he's going to hand off to Melvin Gordon. Cuts it back up the middle, and Darius with another tackle. Wow. He's doing a real nice job on the interior, and that's where Melvin Gordon likes to go, Bomber. He likes to start outside, cut it back inside, but Darius on the interior is going to have a big job containing that cutback.
He did a phenomenal job there. He locked eyes with Melvin Gordon. He acted as if he was going for the outside, and then he spun right back inside and met Melvin Gordon in the hole. Nice job by Darius. That's 2 tackles early in this game. He's a player to watch there on the defensive line for the Cleveland Browns.
Pistol formation, handoff to Melvin Gordon, and who else but Myles Garrett getting involved on the edge, shedding the very good offensive line and bringing down Gordon for maybe a couple on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Cleveland looking for a big stop here on the first offensive drive for the Chargers.
I think the Cleveland Browns are under this philosophy that they feel they can put up points every time they get the ball, and they feel their defense can hold you to 3.
Yeah.
When you start going 7 and they start going 3, you get 14-6, 21-9, and it all starts adding up really quickly. That's the offense and defense they've been playing this season.
3rd and 7. Wentz dropping back on 3rd down, waiting, looking, rolling, trying to find anybody. Not a whole lot going on. And Wentz is going to take the sack. Oh, Tremont Pierce breaking off of his coverage, comes after the quarterback, and he got there in an instant, Bomber. I mean, did you see the speed from Tremont Pierce getting to Carson Wentz?
Absolutely. You see Wentz over there throwing his playmakers out, trying to get this guy to go that way, this guy to go that way, and next thing you know, Cleveland's all in his face, and he's taking a sack. It's going to knock it off to 7-3. So the idea behind the Cleveland Browns defense right now, their philosophy, don't give up 7. It plays right here in the first quarter.
This Cleveland Browns team, Bomber, we talk about how they've been one of the more fortunate teams in the NBL. A lot of them calling them the luckiest team in the NBL, but the one thing this Browns team doesn't lack is confidence. This is a team that believes they can win every week.
Absolutely. Any given Sunday for the Cleveland Browns is their motto. You see it in their locker room. You see it all over their website. You see it on their Twitter page. They think they can beat anybody, and they don't consider anybody better than them. And that's the kind of attitude and swagger that you need to win a championship in the NBL.
Toss play on 1st and 10. Duke Johnson's going to get up to the 31-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, Bomber. If the Browns are going to have any success running the ball with Duke Johnson, it has to be on the edges. They have to get outside of this very talented defensive line and get Johnson into the open field, because that's where he can create some damage.
Yeah, hence the halfback pitch that just happened here on the first run attempt for Duke Johnson Jr. Gets to the outside and then bounces it back inside, picks up a modest gain of 6. Easy peasy for Duke Johnson Jr. in this offensive line.
Going to hand it off once again to Johnson. He'll get up to the 31-yard line. Not a whole lot there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. Nice job by Malik McDowell, one of the underrated free agent signings a couple of seasons ago, Bomber. He has come in and fit right in on that Chargers defensive line.
Absolutely. They got so many pieces in there. Just keep adding more on the defensive side of the ball. So talented in the secondary, corner, safety, the front line, defensive line, and at linebacker. You'll see Fowler and Perriman. These guys are great athletic linebackers that can get to the ball.
Shotgun formation for Joe Watson. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right side. On 3rd and 4, Watson changing up the play here with 5:01 to go. Watson takes the snap on 3rd down, dropping, looking, looks deep down the seam, looking for David Njoku, but a nice job there on the backside of that secondary, putting the big hit on Njoku, prying that ball free. And Bomber, that's the first incompletion here in this playoff game for the rookie Joe Watson.
Yeah, it really wasn't necessarily on him. Maybe he's a little late on the throw, but he makes the right read and he gives his receiver an opportunity to come down with the ball. We're seeing a lot of David Njoku early in this game, one of his favorite targets at tight end. Let's see if that trend continues as the game progresses.
Landry takes it up to the 29-yard line. Now, Bomber, let's go on the flip side. Talk about the Cleveland Browns, how confident they are each and every week. For the Chargers, this is a team that has had the best running back in the league, has had the best offensive line, has had one of the best defensive lines. They still haven't been able to win that Super Bowl here in this cycle. There's only this season and next season left here. Does that start eating at you in the back of your mind?
I mean, did it eat for the Buffalo Bills in the NFL? I feel like it does. Psychologically, to go through this entire road to the Super Bowl and just to come up short and that close as Melvin Gordon bounces to the outside, trying to put another spin move on the Cleveland Browns secondary. You're going to see a lot of spin moves from Melvin Gordon tonight. That's his go-to move. Doesn't go nowhere there for a 2nd and 6. But, yeah, I think psychologically, mentally, it's tough. And it really is a deterrent for this team. They're trying to win multiple Super Bowls. That was their mentality. They have the team to do it. And they're struggling just to come up big in the big game.
Pistol formation for Carson Wentz. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Melvin Gordon in the backfield with Wentz. And on 2nd and 6, it's a play action pass. Wentz looking to throw it here on 2nd down. He's taking a deep shot down the left side. He has a man who has a step. Diving catch by Williams down to the 14-yard line. Wentz puts it on the money. If it was just a little more accurate, it's in the end zone. But Williams coming up with another big catch for this Los Angeles Chargers passing attack.
Here's a fun fact about the Los Angeles Chargers. Only one player between their receiving and rushing core has over 1,000 yards, and that's Melvin Gordon at 1,300. They don't have a wide receiver. Jarvis Landry, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, Keenan Allen, none of them hit 1,000 yards this season. That shows you how much of a power run this team is, but they can still air it out over the top, as you saw. Carson Wentz has nowhere to go there for Melvin Gordon.
Well, and you got to think, if you're the Cleveland Browns, you're looking at Melvin Gordon so far, 6 carries, only 12 yards. You got to think your defense is doing a great job containing MG2K.
I feel like we see this often on NBL Live. He just slowly gets into the game. They're going to give him the ball. Then the second half, he's going to break a big one, and then another big one, and then a one at the end of the game to really seal it. We've seen it so many times with Melvin Gordon. I'm not surprised by the production right now or lack thereof. It definitely picks up in the second half.
2nd and 10, finding Gordon in the flat, trying to make that spin move. Bomber, I feel like the Browns might have watched a little tape on Melvin Gordon. They've seen that spin move. They're doing a nice job making sure he doesn't get into open space. Another opportunity to get a stop here on 3rd and 9.
Yeah, maybe a little hesitation from Melvin Gordon might work. Maybe head to the sideline, just kind of stop, and then pick it back up again. They might be sitting there with the left trigger held down, waiting for him to come back to him. A little food for thought there from Melvin Gordon in open space. But he's been dangerous in the passing attack so far, so what he's lacked in the rushing attack, he's made up by being a threat in the passing attack. Let's see if the trend kind of goes back towards rushing the ball in the second half.
Shotgun formation for Carson Wentz, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. That tight end, Henry, in the slot, standing up. Look for him here on 3rd and 9. As Wentz drops back, 3-man rush from the Browns, trying to get to Carson Wentz. And they do as Spate on the outside gets to Wentz. And once again, the Browns defense coming up with a stop, a sack on 3rd down inside the red zone. And the Chargers forced to kick another field goal. This one from the 18-yard line. 35-yard attempt is up, and it is good. 7-6 your score. The Browns defense holding strong once again.
Los Angeles needs to get into the end zone, and the Cleveland Browns' entire philosophy on defense is to only give up 3. They've done it twice so far. They're up 7-6, but their offense has to get going now because the defense is doing their part.
Yeah, now the Browns offense coming back out. Touchdown on the first drive. They end up getting no points on the second drive as a pass to David Njoku broken up in the secondary. Cleveland looking to extend their lead up 7-6 here on NBL Live. Broadcast 219, I'm OSU. Hang out with my man, Bomber. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into the playoff doubleheader tonight. As man coming in motion on 1st and 10, this is the PAFK quick. He looks down the seam. It is complete down to the 49-yard line. Bomber, we've seen that play a lot. It's a staple in a lot of these playbooks. You don't see too many people look to the seam, and it's an underrated route on that play call.
Yeah, the tight end, too, is often open on that seam on the left side. It just seems like he just finds his seam and is just wide open, and you got to hit it. You got to recognize it early. If you spend too much time looking at B on the wheel route or the crossing route X, you might miss Y wide open on the seam route. Is another good throw there to David Njoku. Njoku from Joe Watson.
Njoku with
Joe.
Joda and Joe.
So many names this year.
Yeah,
it's not even.
James Straselnik, I know.
At this point. Yeah.
2nd and 3, handoff to Duke Johnson, stumbling and bumbling his way to a first down, 5 yards on the play.
Okay, can I talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So there's a pile of people on the ground, and there's nothing but open space to the left or right. You're Trent Richardson. You got 1 second to make a decision. Where do you go?
Right for the pile.
Right for the pile, and somehow he picks up 5 yards on it and gets a first down. So I don't know anymore. I'm completely out of it. I don't understand what that was. He could have walked around that pile of guys that were just fell on the field. But instead, he goes right through them, stumbles and bumbles, and finds his way to the 39-yard line.
Play action pass. Watson looks over the middle of the field. It is complete once again down to the 26-yard line. But he is down holding his shoulder. That's Zach DeMange. I don't know if that was his shoulder or his ribs. He is a guy who's a huge weapon for this team, and this team plays much worse when DeMange isn't on the field.
Yeah, and they call him Zach DeMange because this is a 10-touchdown receiver, 44 catches, 812 yards. A little bit of a down season for Zach DeMange, who came off a 1,300-yard receiving NBL season 30 with 14 touchdowns, battled injuries a little bit this season, and once again in the playoffs, it shines its ugly head at him.
A handoff to Duke Johnson on the outside, trying to make a move. He'll get down to the 23-yard line. Draco in the chat saying, woo, Chiefs QB gets a mention. And the only reason he got to mention Draco is because I'm the only one in the NBL who can reliably pronounce James Straselnik's name. I'm just happy I said it right there because I would look foolish. Straselnik. Straselnik.
Chipotle.
Chipotle. I had Chipotle for dinner. It was delicious. 2nd and 7. 2 wide receivers out there for Joe Watson. Hands it off to Duke Johnson. Not a whole lot there. Give him absolutely nothing on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
6 carries, 15 yards from Duke Johnson Jr., but they're still up 1, and they're in field goal range right now. Los Angeles Chargers doing their best Cleveland Brown impression, trying to hold them to just 3. 3rd and 7. Let's see what kind of plays they got cooking up here as they approach the red zone. See if they can continue to move the chains or maybe take that big shot into the end zone. Joe Watson, rookie quarterback, number 2 under center.
3rd and 7. Watson underneath the center, and 3rd down. He's dropping back to pass. He's going to be down on the ground as Malik McDowell getting to the rookie, and Zach DeMange dislocated elbow. He will be out probably for the playoffs, Bomber. That's a big loss for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that definitely is something we're going to keep an eye on at the end of this game if the Browns win, if he's going to be able to come back. That's a very dangerous injury. Noticing one thing right now, we'll let this field goal go up before I start talking.
Yeah,
here.
It's up and
Kicks
good.
Up. It's up and good. Okay, so one thing I wanted to bring up was, as you notice, a lot of these field goals coming from LA. This is the third field goal of this game. So these quarterbacks right now aren't feeling the pressure to have to make a play into the end zone. All they're feeling the pressure to do is not turn it over once they're in field goal range. Once a team gets a 1 to 2 score lead or touchdowns start coming in more fluently, you're going to see that change. Carson Wentz is going to be less likely to want to take a sack in the red zone, and the same with Joe Watson. But right now, that's where we're getting a little tip for tat. Who can be the first to kind of break that big score?
10-6 your score. Chargers, 47 seconds left. They've got 2 timeouts, an opportunity to get some points before the half. It hasn't been a pretty half for the Chargers, though, Bomber. They haven't had a whole lot of plays on offense because Cleveland's controlled time of possession. The Chargers have had a couple of big plays, 3 for 3 for Wentz, 2 of them deep passes, but they haven't been able to punch it in the end zone. So on 1st and 10, it's Wentz dropping back to pass once again. He's going to look for Melvin Gordon underneath, who can't hang on to the ball. Incomplete pass. Bomber, the big reason the Chargers offense hasn't looked good is Melvin Gordon hasn't been able to get going.
He hasn't been able to get going in the running attack, so they're trying to get him going on these angle routes to the flat, some playmaker down the sideline. But at the end of the day, Melvin Gordon's a running back and not a receiver, so asking him to hold on to those balls is kind of asking a lot.
2nd and 10, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right for Wentz in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Melvin Gordon over that left side. He's got a little bit of room. He'll have the first down. There's a couple of missed tackles from the Browns, but Melvin Gordon is down.
Oh, no.
He is holding his shoulder. Bomber, time to panic over in L.A.?
Oh, man, it's definitely an issue right now. The Los Angeles Chargers aren't too prepared for life after Melvin Gordon. As I said, he's got like 1 million carries over the last 5 seasons. He's been their go-to powerhouse. Underneath him, they got DeMarco Perry, who had 78 carries for 4.4 yards, and that's pretty much it. It's been DeMarco Perry or Melvin Gordon. So we got DeMarco Perry in this game right now. Let's see what he can do, number 27 in the backfield next to Carson Wentz.
As Wentz dropping back to pass on 1st and 10, looking underneath for Hunter Henry. It is complete. It's a first down near the 40-yard line, 30 seconds and counting. LA's going to use their final timeout. Bomber, the one thing I'm learning in the chat right now, these guys are hooked on the NBL network. They're hooked on Madden, but most of all, they're hooked on phonics.
Yeah, okay, explain. I'm not able to look in the chat right
A
now.
lot of people are doing phonetic spelling of Straseljic and now
Oh, okay. You mean Chipotle.
That would have landed a lot better if you were looking at chat. Come on, man! You gotta warn me before I do those jokes. 1st and 10, shotgun formation. For Carson Wentz, he drops back, 4-man rush from the Browns, waiting, looking, finds Landry underneath. Not a whole lot there. Now 24 seconds and counting. Bomber, curious throw there as they have no timeouts.
Yeah, definitely an interesting throw, but maybe they're confident they're going to get to the line of scrimmage, spike this ball down, and go ahead and kick this field goal here to go down 1 point.
They're just going to the field goal.
They're going straight to the field goal. They're going to let it run down.
As the Browns sitting there, 10 seconds and counting. Chargers looking to cut this back to a 1-point lead going into halftime. As the ball is down, the kick is up. It is true. It is right down the middle with no time on the clock. I think that second ticked off after the ball went through the uprights, but we'll let it go. 10-9 your score. The Chargers going to get the ball to start the second half. Have we gotten word on Melvin Gordon yet?
I didn't see any word on Melvin Gordon, but I have heard word that there's been 4 field goals kicked in this game. Come on, can somebody get in the end zone? Can somebody get this excitement going? I want to see a big play.
No word yet on Melvin. It looks like he's back. He's 28, right?
Yeah, 28. 28's back, yeah.
So a lot of worry on the LA sidelines. No big deal, but Melvin Gordon, maybe that injury will fire him up because he hasn't done a whole lot of anything so far. The Browns are doing a nice job of containing the only 2,000-yard rusher in the history of the NBL. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. For the Chargers, they're going to hand it off to Melvin Gordon over the left side, and he's going to get nothing once again, losing 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 12.
Once again, going for that spin move. Got to mix it up if you're Melvin Gordon. Maybe hit the brakes and they fly right by you. I don't know, maybe some Top Gun kind of regiment there for the halfback, but he's got to do something different. I'm tired of seeing the same old spin because the Browns are all over that, and that's a loss of 2. You don't usually say tackle for a loss when you're talking about Melvin Gordon.
As Wentz going to hand this off to Melvin Gordon. Bomber, another great Porter moment in the chat. We've got a guy in there by the name of Sloppy Jalopy.
I like it.
Big fan of what he sees. Porter put in that link out there trying to get people to apply. We already seen Sloppy Jalopy. He's trying to get everybody in the chat to apply for the grid. We'd love to see that wait list grow. Do his job. He's doing his job.
Okay, Porter is the participation guru. He doesn't want to waste his time counting participation from people he's not sure is in the league, so it just benefits him if you join the league. But if you're looking for a good league, join the league, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Porter, great job over there, man.
Big
Appreciate everything you do.
As Wentz looks up in the middle of the field. Oh, into double coverage. Almost picked off. He was looking for Henry, his safety blanket of a tight end. He's lucky that's not going the other way. The Browns defense coming up with a big stop, a 3-and-out. And this is a huge opportunity, Bomber, for the Browns to put some distance between them and the Chargers.
Slightly late throw there for Carson Wentz. He's got to step up and really use his arm strength and get that ball to the tight end. He waits a little bit too long, and that almost was an interception. Let's see what he can do on the special teams. He's got a lot of room in front of him.
Spin move. He's cutting back to the outside. And by cutting back to the outside, I mean he saw 3 Chargers running at him on the inside and said, I can take them on. Reeves goes down at the 26-yard line. Now we get to the Browns offense come back out. Bomber, we saw Watson start out very hot, but not a lot of closing power from the Cleveland Browns. Unable to put up a lot of points.
Yeah, they get 1 touchdown on initial drive. Looked good. Joe Watson was 1 for 1 on drives in which he scored. And since then, it's been field goal and a couple 3-and-outs.
I think Porter just yelled at me for a shout-out after I gave him a shout-out. Hand off to Duke Johnson on the counterplay. Head over heels.
What a hit.
Landed on the noggin, but he bounces up after the 9-yard gain.
That's definitely a good low-cut hit there on Duke Johnson, a halfback that's known for fumbling. So if you're trying to get a fumble out of anybody, Duke Johnson would be the guy that would fumble on this offense of the Cleveland Browns.
2nd and 1 for the Browns. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Both wide receivers over to the left side for Joe Watson. He's going to hand it off to Duke Johnson, who's taking the hardest route to get the first down. Breaks through 3 tacklers and his own blockers to get to the 43-yard line. There was an open hole, Bomber, but as Trent Richardson say, that easy route, it's not for me.
You see the play art right there. If he would have just followed where the red, which would be him, for the halfback zone weak, was going. The blocking was there. It was all picked up, but instead he bounces it outside, takes the scenic route like Sonny did in Hawaii, instantly regretted it, but it ended up paying out for him.
Yeah, he did not like that scenic route in Hawaii. It's on 1st and 10. It's complete over in the middle to the 36-yard line. Joe Watson, 10 of 11 for 134. He doesn't look nervous at all.
Joe Dotson is the name. Oh, Joey Dot. He's just dotting across the field. So the user picks up the drag underneath. He takes his time and says, you know what, you can have that because I'm really looking at the red route on the intermediate cross. The little shallow cross finds them upfield, and they're cruising into field goal range once again.
1st and 10 for the Browns. Bunch formation, 3 to the right, and as I said that, they spread them out. 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. Duke Johnson to the left of Joe Watson. On 1st and 10, surveying this Chargers defense, changing up the play. 3:33 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Waiting, looking. He's going to take off. He's going to try to pick up the first down, sliding down at the 28-yard line. And Bomber, another veteran move, doing what Matt Stafford didn't feel like doing, not taking the hit after picking up 8.
Oh, I think Matt Stafford has been sacked so many times. Once you hit over 60, it all just becomes numb. And he probably just said, why not tally another hit on me? Who cares at this point? He's not fumbling, and he's getting up. That's one thing you know about Matt Stafford for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Joe Watson, how great does this rookie look?
Yeah, he's looking absolutely fantastic. 3 wide receivers for Watson. 2 over to the left side. 1 over to the right. Duke Johnson to the right of Joe Watson. He drops back to pass. Blitz coming. Quick throw to the outside. It is complete. I don't know if he was lucky on that one. He threw that when his receiver wasn't even looking, and Reeves comes up with a catch nonetheless at the 11-yard line.
I don't know if that play was flipped, if that was actually an out route or a curl. It kind of looked like a curl, but it was thrown before the break of the route either way. And I don't like that throw from Joe Watson. A little back shoulder, get rid of it quick, but it works out. If you got the chemistry with your wide receiver, go ahead. I'm all for it, but just seemed a little risky there inside the red zone.
1st and 10, handoff to Duke Johnson, trying to find the edge. He has the edge. He gets to the end zone. Oh, what a cut. Turning on the burners and finding the end zone as the Browns get into the end zone. Finally, Bomber, after that first drive where it looked like the Browns were going to have no trouble getting touchdowns, it's been a struggle since then, but maybe that breaks the seal as they go up 17-9.
Yeah, bad tackling there from the Los Angeles Chargers in open field. We often overlook open field tackling and the importance of it, and right there we're reminded you have an opportunity to just take the man down at the 4 or the 3-yard line and really push him to have to punch it into the end zone in a tight space, but instead you go for the hit stick. He walks around the edge and gets a touchdown.
Get it done on the ground. Browns go up 17-9. Chargers in a little bit of trouble here. They've got Melvin Gordon not really going so far. Wentz has made a couple nice throws, but offensively it's been a struggle for this Chargers team who seems to continually be in that AFC Championship, continually be in the Super Bowl, but doesn't have a title this cycle. They're looking for one here. I formation. Melvin Gordon at the top of that I. Williams split out to the left. Keenan Allen split out to the right. Wentz under center on 1st and 10 with 2:28 to go here in the third quarter. It's a handoff to Gordon. He finally has some room on the outside, but a shoestring tackle at the 30-yard line. A nice run there from Gordon. 6 yards on the play. His best one of the day.
I like his ball carrier vision. He noticed that the blast wasn't there. He bounced it outside. He let his blocking set up on the outside, and then he bounces it outside again. Absolutely love what Melvin Gordon does. His ball carrier vision is unlike anything else in the NBL, and that's why he's one of the greats. That's why I expect him to be top 3, top 4 in our top 25 for this Madden 18 cycle.
2nd and 4. Gordon gets a carry again. Gordon gets nothing again as he stays down to the 30-yard line. Garrett's playing absolutely phenomenal. This defensive line, Bomber, we know how good the Browns' defensive line is. They're playing out of their minds against the Chargers' offensive line that has been dominant all season long.
Yeah, he just shredded that block. He shed the block, and he just stood Melvin Gordon up. I've never seen someone impose their will on Melvin Gordon like I just saw from Myles Garrett. That was truly phenomenal, and that's some great play right there from the defensive lineman of the Cleveland Browns.
3rd and 4. Gordon to the left of Carson Wentz. 3 wide receivers. They're going to give it to Gordon on 3rd down.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, and Gordon's down.
We don't say this much, and he's down again. The old man, Melvin Gordon, is falling apart before our very eyes. Oh, wow.
What an unbelievable turn event right now as Melvin Gordon absolutely bottled up, went down earlier, came back into the game, but he is down once again as this kick is going to go into the end zone. Bomber, is it time to panic in L.A.?
Here's what I'm thinking. This is the first thought that come to my mind. No relation to this game that's going on right now, NBL Live broadcast number 219. My thought is the NBL rookie draft for season 32. If the Los Angeles Chargers take a halfback in the first round, I'm heading straight over to Melvin Gordon's Twitter, and I got to see what he's going to say. Because, honestly, if they lose this game, he got hurt twice. He just really looks much different than he used to look as far as just being MG2K.
And how has Joe Watson looked as he completes that one underneath? 12 of 13, 157, and it is confirmed Gordon will not return to the game with that quadriceps strain. I don't know why he was holding his back, the quadriceps on your, but whatever, we'll let it go. No MG2K for the Chargers.
It was radiating pain.
Gotcha.
All right, it was shooting up his spine, all right?
I apologize.
Hey, EA, look at me. I got you.
2nd and 4. Watson looking to the corner route. Dangerous throw. Ball's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Browns. He almost took that to the house.
Now, if I'm a Los Angeles Charger fan, we've been to back-to-back Super Bowls, NBL Season 29, NBL Season 30. We haven't been able to get it done in the Super Bowl, but plays like that ultimately are making me rip my hair out, which I don't have much left of, and it just seems very disappointing and just shocking right now being a Chargers fan, because just nothing is really going our way, and our star players are getting injured, and nothing seems right, but there goes Duke Johnson.
Well, the war of attrition is continuing on here on the NBL Network. We appreciate all of you tuning in. Showstopper87 saying, yo, these commentators lit. Appreciate the love, Showstopper. I'm OSU, your NBL Network Director. Hang out with the Commish Bomber. Doubleheader action. And don't miss out on the action we've got coming up this week, folks. We have doubleheader AFC and NFC Championship games coming up on Friday night. And then we have our NBL Season 31 Super Bowl on Saturday night here, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, both nights. You don't want to miss out. Ton of broadcasts here on the NBL Network as Joe Watson takes the snap on 2nd 11, quick 3-step drop. He looks to the quick slant to Corey Coleman, who takes a big catch and finds the first down to the 45-yard line. As this Browns team looks like they're picking up a little bit of momentum right now, Bomber.
What I'm seeing from Joe Watson is just phenomenal. He looks off the safeties, he looks to the right, comes right back to the left on a slant to Corey Coleman, and then Corey Coleman makes a move or two, takes a big hit where he could have fumbled, and he holds on to it. This team is playoff ready.
Handoff on 1st and 10 goes nowhere as Smiley into the game. Duke Johnson will return. A pectoral strain will not keep him out. Going to bring up a 2nd 11. And while we have a moment here in the third quarter, folks, want to remind you about our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do a ton of graphics for our entire network. You see that overlay. You see a lot of the pregame stuff. A Showstopper now following here on Twitch. 15% discount if you mention NBL. Head over to Web3KS.com if you need any graphics done. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. Joe Watson, play action pass, looks over the middle of the field. It is complete down to the 21-yard line. 15 of 16. Andrew Norwell, though, the left tackle. Broken ribs. He's not returning to the game, and that's a big loss for this Browns team if they do get past the Chargers.
Joe Watson is cooking right now. He's the best thing I've seen today. He's made some throws down the field off of play action, shotgun formation, pistol formation, under center, however you want it. He seems like a quarterback that can pretty much do it all. And this young rookie, the sky might be the limit for this team.
Handoff to Duke Johnson on 1st down, and Ratliff able to bring down Duke Johnson on the outside after a 2-yard loss. That's going to take us to the fourth quarter. Browns, with a score here, can go up 2 scores in this game. Chargers defense, Bomber, hasn't played particularly great. Watson's been able to do whatever they want. Big reason for that is this very talented defensive line with Malik McDowell, with Joey Bosa. They haven't been able to get to the quarterback at all.
Absolutely. You got an 8-point game right now. You're on the 23-yard line. Opportunity to go up 2 scores, as you said, but that's not enough. We've seen the Los Angeles Chargers have some of the most miraculous comebacks as well, so I wouldn't count them out just yet.
Quick throw to the flat. It is complete, but a great tackle made on David Njoku. 16 of 17 for Watson. He hasn't had to do a whole lot. He hasn't had to make any miracle throws, Bomber. He's just been methodical. He's taken what the defense given him. He's used the short field. He's used the long field.
Yeah.
He's been just about perfect.
If we had a stat to put up there where he's dotted the ball all over the field, you would see just a sprinkle everywhere. Yeah. And it's tough to defend against a quarterback that's essentially beating you wherever you're vulnerable.
Play action pass for Joe Watson. Look into the end zone. High pass. David Njoku.
Didn't have to high pass that.
Yeah. He's lucky.
That was open.
He's lucky he wasn't hurt on that play. Cleveland's going to have to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, wild right there. I think he had the man open. He made the right read. He just high passed it to be safe. He didn't have to high pass it.
4th and 7. The kick is up. The kick is good. 20-9, 11-point game, Bomber. And I don't know if anybody told the Chargers offense, but the game started at the conclusion of the Steelers-Ravens game. Nobody has told the Chargers offense to come out of the locker room.
Hey, this is a fourth quarter team, so I wouldn't doubt them right now. They're only down 11. There's opportunity here. If they can get a big play, we saw a big play earlier to Mike Williams streaking down the left sideline. Don't expect much pressing up from the Cleveland Browns because they've already been beat once. That's going to allow Carson Wentz to kind of get into this drive and maybe get some points on the board. They get 1 touchdown here before the 3-minute mark. They're right back in this game. They just need 1 stop.
Wentz dropping back on 1st and 10. Looks to the skinny post. It is complete to Keenan Allen down to the 44-yard line. Bomber, fellow Blitz questioning you in the chat, saying it could have been picked without the high pass.
All right, here we go. 1st and 10 at the 44.
Just carry on.
When fella Blitz
you don't want to make the Dean's list.
Me, it's, we got problems.
Looking for Allen on the C route. Yeah, Bomber, you don't want to make the Dean's list. If you haven't checked out the Dean's list, Bomber, tell me what people can expect.
You can't put a commentator
on the Dean's list, he can do whatever he wants, Bomber. Dean's list, one of the real great additions to the NBL Twitter videos. It really is a nice thing to see.
Absolutely. I love the Dean's list. Just don't want to be on it. I've avoided it so far, but my time might be coming to an end. I mean, I got a game coming up this Friday. You take the L on any of those games in the upcoming games, you're going to end up on the Dean's list, one of your guys, and that's probably something you want to avoid. Unless I get on there as a commentator, you know, and break the cherry there. So might happen. I don't know.
Pass to Hunter Henry underneath, 8 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 2, 4:53 and counting. Bomber, how important is it for the Chargers just to get points on this drive? There's not a whole lot of time left in this ball game.
Well, they need to get points, but I need a touchdown. You need to see a touchdown here. You need to see 16-20 at the end of this drive right here, and I need to see it within 3 minutes.
They ran the screen pass to Perry, and the Browns were not fooled, and now
it's got
to be 4-down territory, right? 4:36 and counting.
Yeah, 4:36, 4:35 left, down 11 points. You got to go for it. Spread them out. See what you can do. But right now, this is Cleveland Browns defense. I don't know if they've just been suffocating or they just have a great game plan and knew what they wanted to do against this Chargers and just implemented it very well. But here's a big opportunity to get them off the field. 4th
and 5, empty backfield for Carson Wentz. 5 wide receivers. He drops back on 4th down, waiting, looking, needs to get rid of it. Finds Hunter Henry. Who else coming up with a big catch on 4th down, to pick up the 1st down for these Chargers. Now they hurry back to the line. 4-10 and counting. 5 wide receivers out there for Carson Wentz. Needing to get a touchdown on this drive to cut into this Browns lead. Not a whole lot of time left. He looks underneath. It is complete to Mike Williams. Makes the man miss. He'll get up near the 1st down marker to the 29-yard line.
I thought that post against the cover 3 was about to get open. It looked like the man in the middle, the safety in the middle, was playing just a little shallow to the right. I thought he could lead pass it over the top, but instead he just takes a shot underneath, continues to move a chains, picks up 9 yards.
Just as Michael Jackson would say, I'm looking at the man in the middle, I think was what he was saying. 2nd and 1, shotgun formation for Carson Wentz. He's got 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. He's going to drop back to pass. Mid-blitz coming. It's picked up by the Chargers. He's got a man in his Carney. He's up past the 20 to the 15 to the 10, and that's where he'll be taken down. The mid-blitz picked up perfectly by this Chargers offensive line, and they are 10 yards away from cutting this back to a field goal.
They just got the clutch, Gina. I said at the 3-minute mark they need to have 7 points on the board. Look at the time now, 25, 24, 23. They're right on pace.
First and goal. Wentz dropping back on first down. Waiting, looking. 3-man rush.
Oh,
he is taking off, looking to the right side, and he's going to chuck this one out of bounds. 3:15 to go. Bomber, nobody coming open on that play.
X was wide open on the post. It was tight. It was a tight window. But this is when big players make big plays. Carson Wentz, you want to be a big dog quarterback in the AFC, you got to make that throw. Don't pass up that window and that opportunity to get in the end zone.
3:15 to go. A spot in the AFC Championship game on the line. Carson Wentz comes in under center. He's got Williams out to the left, Allen out to the right. Hunter Henry, look for him on this play. Second and goal from the 10-yard line. Waiting. Wentz rolling out. Still waiting. He's going to dump this off to LaVar, but there's not a whole lot of room there. He'll pick up 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and goal.
Nowhere really to go in the middle of the field as that 3-minute mark is about to be surpassed, and this is when it gets into crunch time. You got 3 timeouts. I get it, but I would like you to not have to use a couple timeouts. You can't run the clock till under 2 minutes per NBL rules. I wanted to see a score by the 3-minute mark. Didn't get one, so now they have to get in the end zone.
3rd and goal. Wentz dropping back. 3-man rush from the Browns. Looking for anybody open. Looking into the end zone. Finds Carney, but he can't hang on to it through contact. And it's going to bring up a 4th down, and the Chargers are going to have to settle for the field goal here. Cut this back to a 1-score game and live to fight another day. Bomber, it was a good pass. Carney's got to come up with that catch. There was not a whole lot of contact.
Absolutely. That's got to be a possession catch in the end zone. They're only down 8. It's still just 1 score. 2:40 left. You got the 2-minute warning. You can't milk clock till under 2 minutes. A lot of opportunities here left for the Los Angeles Chargers. Do not count them out. This was a team down about 7 points against the Steelers last year. They blocked the field goal, returned it, scored, got an interception and scored. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen on NBL Live, so do not count out the Los Angeles Chargers.
Showstop is saying should have ran the ball in the end zone. Maybe a little gun-shy, Bomber. Melvin Gordon goes out with an injury. They looked a little scared to hand the ball off to the backup. I agree with Showstopper. Need to show the run at least once.
Absolutely. I think so as well. Showstopper, that's a good point. Chargers got into this pass-heavy thing. They don't know what got them there was the run game. And they get a little pass-heavy when they get inside the red zone, inside the 10. And that's obviously not good if you're not willing to take those tight windows.
A handoff to Duke Johnson trying to find some room on the outside. Not a whole lot there. 33-yard line is where he'll be taking down gain of 1 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9, folks. A reminder, don't miss out on all the playoff action happening here on the NBL Network Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, doubleheader, AFC and NFC Championship game. Lions and Seahawks on the NFC side, Steelers and the winner of this game on the AFC side, and then Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll have our Season 31 Super Bowl. You don't want to miss out. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the action. Play action pass. Joe Watson's throwing it on 2nd down. He completes it to Njoku. But he's not going to have the
injury
first down.
Timeout, that's
3rd
big.
and 2.
That's big.
Stopping the clock.
You look at these things as like injury timeouts at this point, and you always go back and go, how did they get so many extra possessions? That's how. Stop the clock at 2:09 there, save them a timeout. They still have the 2-minute warning, so a first down here isn't as bad as it might be if that didn't happen.
Bunch formation, 3 to the right for Watson. Duke Johnson in the backfield. Watson's going to throw it here on 3rd down. Looks over the middle of the field. Oh, and it's batted away. And with 2:05 to go, the Chargers defense comes up with a huge stop, Bomber. They're going to get their offense a chance to tie this ball game up.
I don't know what the Browns are thinking right there. Just run the ball. 3rd and 2. You've been able to pick it up. You came out, and it looked like a toss to the right. And they didn't even adjust to it. I think there was an opportunity to run the ball there. I think the Chargers were 100% banking on them passing it. And now they overthought themselves, and here's an opportunity for the Chargers, who are one of the best in the business at picking up 2-point conversions. They're only down 8 right now. This is a big, big comeback here in the making for Los Angeles.
Let me play devil's advocate for a moment here.
Okay.
Throwing the ball there on 3rd down, you have a chance to pick it up. If it's an incomplete pass, they're punting with 2:05 left. They used the 2-minute warning on that punt, so they're not really giving up a whole lot. But I agree. I'm surprised they didn't just try to run it because they had it set up for a big gain. As that very bad decision from Carson Wentz, trying to throw a jump ball to the tight end into double coverage. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
They tried to split the safeties there, but nobody really made the safeties have to play them. So the safeties played tight. They played inside coverage against that seam in man coverage, and it was essentially a triple coverage pass by Carson Wentz. He probably wishes he could have that one back.
Wentz dropping back. 5-man rush. Blitz coming. Wentz got to get rid of it. He completes it underneath to Jarvis Landry. Has the first down, but doesn't get out of bounds. And an injury on the Chargers side. We got injuries coming out all over the place. Houston went down.
Takes their timeout. That's
big. Does take the timeout under 2-minute warning. Under 2 minutes to go. That injury timeout uses one of those timeouts from the Chargers.
Jarvis Landry led this team in receiving 54 catches, 993 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He just signed a 4-year deal worth $16 million out of Miami. Played most of his seasons in Miami this cycle, but now he's with the Los Angeles Chargers making big plays.
And it's Wentz dropping back on 1st and 10. He's going to take a sack. Oh, Lord. Carson Wentz, what you doing? Myles Garrett with his first sack of the day, loss of 10. I think he locked in on that C route. It didn't come open, and then he just took too much time in the pocket.
Yeah, you get cover 1 robber with a press, and you got the C route on the left side, and the guy pretty much is like glue on him, and you just don't want to get an interception there. That's what we were talking about before this broadcast started, jumping underneath that C route and getting the pick. That's what it looked like was going to happen there. Carson Wentz takes a sack.
And Wentz all the time in the world throws it to the user. It's picked off. Oh, I don't know what he saw there, but he's going to take this back to the 10, to the 5, down to the 2-yard line. The Browns look like they're going to get to the AFC Championship game after an absolutely boneheaded throw there. Carson Wentz right to the lurking user.
What was going on and what was going through the mind? And this goes back to the theory I said earlier. Carson Wentz is the Chris Bosh of this team if they were the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat.
Per se. I like it.
Per se. They always seem to blame him. Toss to the outside. Nowhere to go. Spin move for Duke Johnson. Back down to the 9-yard line as Chargers is going to burn a timeout. Hit pointer for Jarvis Landry. Not that is important right now. But this is what I'm talking about. What are we going to remember from this game? We're going to kind of forget how bad and how poor Melvin Gordon looked before he went out. And then he came back in. Then he went out again, came back in. Carson Wentz is going to take all the blame here.
Toss to Duke Johnson on the outside. He'll get taken down at the 13-yard line. He's going backwards, but they're mostly about killing the clock here. They're going to run the ball one more time, kick a field goal, and seal this bad boy. Let's look ahead, Bomber, as this one, unless there's a major turnover here, looks all but over. It's going to be an all AFC North AFC Championship game. Browns and Steelers facing off. They faced off twice this year. And I believe, I could be mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, Bomber, 15-1 in the regular season. That one on the record for the Steelers was these Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, if you're looking for a hope and you're looking for a spin on this story, you're going to say the Pittsburgh Steelers went 15-1 and had a remarkable season. But their 1L did come from the Cleveland Browns, a team that's looking really good. Only problem is they're led by a rookie quarterback, and we're just waiting the downfall of Joe Watson. But tonight he was Joe Dotson, and he looked phenomenal for the Cleveland Browns, and there's a lot of hope in this city.
I'm just saying, Bobanot in the chat saying blocked field goal, called it. The Chargers have in fact won a game with a blocked field goal, as the Browns aren't going to risk getting close enough to where they could time that bad boy up. They're going to kick the field goal, extend this to a 2-score game. The Boo Birds coming down in L.A. And Bomber, the Chargers taking a step back. I mean, this is a team that's been in the Super Bowl the last 2 seasons. Didn't come away with a win in the Super Bowl. They're not even going to make the AFC Championship game this year. With 1 season to go, Bomber, are the Chargers' hopes of getting a title this cycle over?
Yeah, you know, they say with winning the way that the Chargers have won, expectations raise. You cannot lose in the divisional round to a team that didn't even win their division. So the Cleveland Browns, the team that you're playing right now, is not a division-winning team. And they held you to 12 points. This is not a good look. It's rebuild time in Los Angeles.
Good Lord, Myles Garrett just made the left tackle look silly on that play. A spin move on the outside, the 4th sack for the Browns. And, man, yeah, Bomber, I mean, you talk about Wentz sort of being the scapegoat, but at the end of the day, this one's on the offensive line and Melvin Gordon. That rushing attack never got going. And we said in the beginning, if the Browns can find a way to contain Melvin Gordon, that's how you win this game. You force Carson Wentz to be the hero, and he just doesn't have it.
Yeah, a couple of brain farts. I mean, opportunities where he knows he let the ball go and wishes he could have it back, and they're at a point right now where they need more stability at the quarterback position. I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers go quarterback or halfback in the first round next season. They still have a great offensive line. They have a good to great defense. They just have to get more consistency at the quarterback play and maybe a little younger at halfback.
Well, this one is over. We have our Final Four set. The Cleveland Browns 23-12 in really a more dominant victory, I think, than the score shows, especially second half. Browns, what an unbelievable game. It's time to make our selection for the NBL Live Player of the Game for this game. Broadcast number 219 here on the NBL Network. And Bomber, it's Joe Watson. Joe Watson, the rookie, comes in and plays a darn near perfect game. He was fantastic the entire way, and he's the big reason why the Browns are heading to another AFC Championship game.
Yeah, you got to give the rookie the play of the game. NBL Live Broadcast 219 has got to go. Joe Watson, a.k.a. Joe Dotson. What he did tonight is something special. If they go on a miracle run, remember, it all started here at this game against the Los Angeles Chargers, the reigning AFC champion for the last 2 seasons. They knocked them out. Now they got to go into Pittsburgh and do it against the Steelers, who they went 1-1 heads up this season with, and the Steelers coming off not the greatest performance. So I'd be a little intimidated by the fact that Pittsburgh's going to come out and probably be driving the ball down the field in the air. I expect it to be a high-scoring shootout game. Let's see what this rookie's really made of.
Joe Watson, your NBL Live Player of the Game here for Broadcast 219. Check out all of our Player of the Games over on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Bomber, the Final Four is set. Lions and Seahawks on one side, Steelers and Browns on the other side. That's a pretty darn good Final Four, if I do say so myself.
Absolutely. Got to love it. Right now, if you're a fan of the NBL, you're going to get some great action on Friday and Saturday, a doubleheader and a Super Bowl Saturday. It doesn't get any better than this for the franchise mode.
Look at that. Look at that little graphic right there, folks. Friday, June 1st, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Saturday, June 2nd, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The AFC and NFC Championship games Friday night. The Super Bowl Saturday night, hosted by our friends over at EA Madden NFL. Should be 2 great nights of football here on the NBL Network. You don't want to miss it. They're 2 giant broadcasts, Bomber, and we get to crown a champion here in Season 31, the second to last season of the Madden 18 cycle.
That's what it's all about, and I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to have our brand on the EA Madden NFL Twitch channel. I mean, that's a big accomplishment for us and big opportunity for us.
Well, that is going to do it for us tonight. Appreciate all of you tuning in, participating in the chat, subscribers, followers. We appreciate all of you showing love to the NBL Network. For my co-host, the Commissioner Bomber, I am OSU. Once again, your final here tonight. We saw an unbelievable first game with the Pittsburgh Steelers coming out on top. We saw the Cleveland Browns coming out top on the second one. We've got an AFC and NFC championship game you're not going to want to miss. Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We will see you then, right here on NBL Live.